Man, we got a lot to talk about. Do you see Hazel's lore questions? He threw you some freaking loaded ass questions, man. I gave you some softballs. I gave you softballs. He gives you freaking them for the entity. Holy shit. All right. Okay. Fine. Yeah, it should be some good conversation there, though.
I'm going to sit back and potentially heckle Hazel.
Please do. I encourage any heckling of Hazel. He's not here, so I can say it. He says, I'll be right there making a drink. Oh, shit. What am we in for?
God.
What are we in for?
Nice.
If he's spending that much time to make a drink, it's not good. He's making something really strong. Oh, man.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 121 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that love all things in the Destiny universe, and we talk about it. We also interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. We're the show that asks, what lore are you curious about before Witch Queen arrives? I'm your host, the Gatr, and my co-host Hazel is here as well. Hey, man. How's your week?
It's been pretty shitty. I think I got like 2 hours of sleep last night.
What?
My
Why?
daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we were on, but my daughter's been sick.
That's
so
right.
she's just been coughing and everything else. And so I was getting ready to go to bed last night, and all of a sudden I go upstairs after we get done playing, and she's like passed out in my spot in bed. She has like 6 pillows around her and everything else. And
Oh, no.
just like, okay, well, I don't know where the hell I'm going to sleep. So I end up sleeping downstairs. Well, she ends up coughing and like getting on this spree. Meanwhile, my wife is asleep next to her, just fucking snoozing away. So I get up and I go upstairs and then like get her some water and everything else and like, go back to sleep. So she did.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I'm not going downstairs. So I slept in her bed, which is like this twin bed.
Little twin. Oh my God.
Twin, yeah.
How tall are you again, Hazel?
About 6 feet.
Yeah, I can imagine what that's like. Probably not a most comfortable bed either. Most kids' beds are pretty chintzy. Not much stone.
This one was like really super soft. So I was just
lucky.
like,
Nice.
no, I woke up and I'm like, fucking hell. So yeah. So there was that. And I have a funny story for everybody.
Okay.
Or at least a story I thought was pretty funny. So my daughter goes, I've shared this in the Discord, but for anybody who's not in and that kind of thing, she's like, Dad, I know how to spell puppy. I'm like, oh, like kick ass. I didn't say that, but I was like, awesome. I was like, how do you spell it? She's like, Pube. And my wife like looks at her and it's like, it didn't register like what she spelled.
Right.
And she's like, no, she's like, that's not right. She's like, that spells something else. And my daughter Addie goes, she's like, well, what's it spell? What's it spell?
Don't do it.
And then she like looks at me, my wife does, and I'm like, don't you do it. Just don't do it. And she's like, pube.
Oh no.
Immediately I just like put my hand on my face. And then my daughter just starts running around going, pube.
New word of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, oh, great. This will haunt us for a while. Like, wonder when the next time she'll say this will be.
Oh my God.
So,
wow.
Yeah. Pube. It's the word of the day. She did not learn that on Sesame Street. I'll tell you that.
No, I guarantee you she didn't know. Wow.
So, how about you, man? How's your week been?
It's, thanks to Rye for Short, I actually create a journal every day like he does. At the end of every day, what I do is I tell myself I'm going to create a 5-minute story about my day. And I just write down the highlights, just a couple sentences. And, you know how you're like, geez, the time's flying by, what even happened this week?
No shit, right? Yeah.
So let's see, this week I went, Monday I went to the chiropractor. Tuesday, what did we do Tuesday? Went to the grocery store with my wife and got some dinner out. Wednesday, we went to my dad's birthday, 76th birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Last night, we went and saw The Eternals at the movie theater. I'll have words later. And today it's still going, right? So that's my day so far. Oh, let's see. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Elmer Fudd, it is 67 and fair skies tonight. Just wanted to let you know that. I know Colorado's probably pretty awesome right now as well. All right, enough. Well, we have one of our fellow podcasters back for more tonight. He didn't get enough punishment the last time he was here. He's one of the co-hosts of the Guardian Hub, the best hub on the net. It's our friend, Mr. DeSRaven. How you been, man?
Hello. How's it going? It's been an incredible 1 year, 1 month, and 14 days, but I am back.
well, wait a minute now. You were back with all three of you guys earlier this year.
I'm counting solo appearances here.
Okay, all right.
Because you made that distinction last time I was here.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Because that's why you got thin on twice before me. No, anyway.
Well, to be fair, Sin was a last minute. He bailed us out at the last minute because we had a cancellation on one of her. That's the only reason why that happened that way. So
sure.
Nice.
Oh, whatever helps you sleep at night.
Hazel's loving this right now.
Yeah, I am actually. I'm just sitting back, sipping this, and just enjoying the view.
Well, Des, it's good to have you back, man. We got a lot to talk about. Just to preview what we're going to talk about tonight. First, we're going to catch up with Des, obviously, and see what's been going on since his last visit with us here. We may talk a little bit of what we've been watching or what we've been gaming. Next, Hazel's going to go over the TWAB, and it's a decent one this week. For the 12th week of Season of the Lost, we're going to quiz Des on Hazel and Gatr's most pressing 3 questions concerning the lore of D2. That ought to be a fun conversation. Next, we're going to answer questions from our community and add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. All right, guys. What do you say? Ready to do this?
I like it.
All right.
Break.
Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man.
So, Des, since it has been over a year since we've had you on here solo, how you been, man? What's new in your life? I think the last time we spoke when you were back with us earlier in the year with the Guardian Hub guys, I think you didn't have power.
Oh, yeah.
Having all kinds of issues.
Yeah, I was literally in the dark. That's right.
Yeah. So
That's right.
So how's life
about that?
How's life right now, man? Everything going better?
Well, we obviously, as many would hope, we definitely got the fuse box fixed, and it was up to code, and everything was great with that. So we've had power for a while. So,
yeah. I hope so.
Right. Like I said, I completely forgot. I literally did this show in the dark last time.
I think you were using like your 4 or 5G on your phone, I think, weren't you at the time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
totally.
Crazy. That's dedication. That's dedication.
Right. I was using my data for you guys.
All right, sir. So, how's everything with the Guardian Hub?
The what? No, I'm kidding. No, it's
There's some schmoes. I think the 2 Titan and a Hunter is part of them.
Oh God.
Respawn.
Who? No, I'm kidding. God. It's all in jest.
I'll get us all in trouble. It's okay. Don't worry.
You will.
But no, yeah, it's going great. It's like, it is going fantastic. I don't know. It's like, it's just really weird because I guess because of a previous history with Kingsley and Sin, I don't know. It was just super easy to integrate there. So I can't really say it's like going any better or worse. It's just still going for me,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Which is definitely weird for me because again, with a previous venture, I mean, I definitely hadn't known Makotos for that long, so things definitely had like we had to mesh, we had to meld, we had to like find, us essentially. But I don't know. Like I said, that entire phase, or at least I guess from my perspective, just hasn't really happened because again, I don't know. I have history with those two, so. Which also, fun fact, at least used to on the show, Kingsley used to mention the fact that people used to call him Mick Kingsley.
Yeah.
Because his screen name used to be MC Kingsley.
That's right. Oh,
I was one of those idiots.
That's still his Twitter handle, I think.
Yeah. And I was one of those idiots that called him Mick Kingsley back in the day. That was totally me. Every time we did a raid, oh, hey, Mick Kingsley, how you doing? He never said anything. He's like such a nice guy. And I didn't realize until the PlayStation had given the opportunity to change screen names. I'm like, Kingsley Mac, what's that? It's like, that's the name, It was MC Kingsley. It's like, oh, so it wasn't the Kingsley. I was the dummy. Okay, gotcha.
Now,
I thought you were just a DJ.
Now, Startian said she shared a fun fact that Kingsley actually talks totally differently when he's not podcasting. Have you heard any of that slip? Where he talks differently, or is he pretty much Kingsley?
I don't know, because I think his podcasting voice might be the same or similar to his kind of gaming voice.
Oh, okay.
He's a little looser while gaming, I'll say.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I can't tell much of a difference. She is definitely far greater the Kingsley expert than I am.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, I have noticed, though, since I was on the show that one time, that he cusses a lot more. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
I know, right? I know. You kind of get used to... You get used to, like, the innocent Kingsley, and then all of a sudden the language starts to fly, and it's like, wait a minute, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is my influence. I was like, I'm kind of happy about this in a way. So.
Well, hey, we're gonna talk some lore tonight, Des, and I was just curious, how did you discover your interest in lore? I mean, did you follow lore from past before Destiny? We probably asked you this before, but like you said, it's been over a year. So, what drew you into lore? There's certain things that get people really digging into the lore of Destiny and other games. Just curious, what brought you into this lore atmosphere, this lore world?
Well, I guess it kind of always has been an aspect of my gaming. Because I am most definitely a 90s kid.
Okay.
Because I was born in 84. So, of course, the 90s is like, it was prominent for first memories. And, of course, being a 90s kid and playing games on a Nintendo, the only way you used to be able to get story out of a game was if you read the booklet. And that was it.
That's
it's like
right.
you start up. Some dog goes absolutely nuts. You like start Legend of Zelda. It just puts you in the middle of a field.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know crap unless you read that manual. And if you were renting and it didn't come with the manual, you were just screwed.
Yeah.
But no. So I guess that just kind of came from that era where instruction booklets were more than just instruction booklets, despite the name. But then being into like RPGs and stuff, and just like having like worlds to explore, has just always kind of been that part. But I've never really had that kind of like deep connection to a shooter per se. So for Destiny, it was quite literally I think it was starting to collect like the last word in Thorn Grimoire cards.
Right.
Back in D1, and actually finally going to the site and reading them. And which I would read them in passing, but it was my moment realizing that Thorn and the last word were two sides of the same story. And once I had realized that, the hook got me. That was it. It's like, if this is connected, what else is connected? So I started rereading lore and like looking for connections and looking for similarities, and yeah, I was stuck. And then freaking Taken King came out, and the whole Book of Sorrows and the history of the Hive, and it's like, yep, I'm done. I mean, going down that rabbit hole now.
Well, it helps that now the lore is in the game. You don't have to look for Grimoire cards that are hidden everywhere. That was such a pain in the ass. But now, I mean, the lore is right there. You just have to open the book up and just start reading it. And I'll say this, I've said this in the past, I'll say it again. It's just, for me, it's tough to just jump in and know, if I'm going to read a book, I need to know where to start. And with Destiny lore, it's just all over the place. And like we were talking about the speaker in our lore segment, in our lore channel, and I just put I went to
Ishtar Collective.
Yes, the Ishtar Collective. I just put speaker, and it gave us all these passages that included the speaker. I'm like, all right, I don't even know where to dive in here. I mean, it's just, they're all over the place. It's like year 1 Destiny, year 2 Destiny. I mean, it's, I just have always had a hard time. I'm very, very much a structured type person. So I have to have a structure of what I'm reading, like a how-to. And I guess that's what throws me about lore and why I don't get into as deep as you do, and maybe even Hazel. But I was just curious where your origin was, where it came from. So
you said that when you realized that the Thorn and Last Word were sort of together. Now, I know that story where basically it's Dredgen Yor was actually, like the villain of everything, and then come to find out there's another story of what's the guy's name? I forget.
Rezel Azir.
Rezel Azir, yes. And that basically they're the same person. And so was that when you first got into lore, when you made that connection?
No. I'm talking like
okay.
I'm talking probably at latest. I'm talking like House of Wolves, probably around Thorn and Last Word Grimoire 3 cards, where words like Palamon and things like that were popping up in both places. So no, it was before. In fact, by the time I had gotten into the lore, funny thing about Rezel Azir was he was still a giant red herring in Destiny 1. And I say that because it wasn't until D2 that it was confirmed that Rezel Azir had become Dredgen Yor. That was like a huge mystery throughout D1. I say huge mystery, but sometime around or post Taken King, one of the former writers did confirm, like outside, that Rezel Azir was supposed to be Dredgen Yor. But that was the issue was, sure, this former writer supposedly says that, but all the in-game iconography for Dredgen Yor was pointing towards a hunter. But Rezel Azir was very obviously a Titan.
Yeah.
Because even hunters had a blue cloak in D1 that was Dredgen Yor, cloak of Dredgen Yor. So there was just signs that he was a hunter. But come to find out, in D2, yes, Rezel Azir and Dredgen Yor was the exact same person. Bungie intentionally tossed out all those red herrings to throw off the trail. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So they did it once. So I'm always skeptical of like certain things because you just never know anymore.
So do you have is there anything like that in the community right now?
It's hard to say, really. Because again, I mean, to be a huge mystery, I guess, because that's not a bad thing, because I used to be knee deep in the lore community, like as a whole. I was part of lore discords. I was, I mean, good Lord, I was friends with like Handsome Dragon and had Anon Pig, which was huge in lore back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I could contact him because they were both like guests of former show, and I got pulled into that world, but I'm not that connected to that anymore, so I'm not as connected to like the grander mysteries of lore in Destiny anymore. So a lot of like, I'm not sure what the big, the next, well, except for potentially, I guess, the next big thing in lore would potentially be the entity. That's about all I know.
Well,
yeah.
I've got a 2-part question here. And bear with me, it's a little loaded. As probably some of our listeners don't know, you used to host another podcast long ago called RNG Cast. And how did that start? What was the origin of RNG Cast? I know I've asked you this before, but we have a lot of new listeners and they don't know DeSRaven. But more importantly, how has that prepared you, or how have you transitioned into being one of the hosts of the Guardian Hub?
Well, hilariously, the origins of RNG.
Mm-hmm.
I forget an exact date because dates kind of escape me. But I do. It was for those in D1 Taken King time frame. If you remember the Great Omnigul Farm.
Yes.
Yes. For context,
I love that pulse rifle.
Yeah. For those, for context, Strike Loot had been introduced in D1. You needed skeleton keys to open a chest.
Mm-hmm.
The grand convergence happened on an Omnigul strike where it was solar burn. So people were finding out within hours, quick ways, because the Omnigul replacement strike, which I can't remember the name of it now, but when you see when you see the wizard in the hallway after everything else, you used to be able to kill Omnigul right there, and she would drop loot.
Kill her now, but yeah, she doesn't drop any loot.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they fixed.
Yeah, she just runs from you now. Says no, I'm out.
You can kill her. You can kill her.
Well, I never can because I'm usually solo on it.
Really? I thought you were in a lost sector.
I
Got him.
Love you.
So that was the plan. You get her in the hallway. The original plan was like a tether hunter and like 2 hammer titans taking her down. But at least in the DRP Discord, which I was part of DRP at the time, which is Destiny Reset podcast for those that don't know. But I had found out that Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun could knock out just about half of her health. So strategies changed a bit. Strategies were tweaked. Flex room was found. And yeah, so found a whole new way to farm Grasp of Malak. Fantastic pulse rifle.
Still miss it.
Yeah. So during this entire time, I ended up farming Omnigul for hours, with sets groups of people. One of those people was Buster Knuckle. The other was the businessman. And for 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6, we farmed Omnigul. And that was it. And so we got to talking like lore, game stuff, all kinds of stuff. It was about a week after that. I noticed a DM in my Discord from Buster. It's like, hey man, I've been thinking about starting a podcast. Would you like in? And hilariously, around this time, I was trying to kind of dive into content creation anyway. YouTube videos, streaming, stuff like that. I had a nice little setup. Everything was set to go. It was just, I couldn't quite really get started for whatever reason. I just felt the fact that Destiny needed, like, not that I could become big enough to actually become just a voice of reason that could be heard, but that's kind of what was needed. And I've always had that capability of like seeing like multiple sides of an argument, playing devil's advocate when needed. I just have like an understanding, which I guess empathy might be the proper terminology there, but either way. So I just felt like that needed to be there. And it's like, that offer came up, just like, yes, I will do this thing. So we brought in Businessman. We had a nice run of 3-ish years.
Yeah, it was a while.
I believe.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. We lost business at a time. We got Gorilla Golf in.
Yeah, I like him.
Oh, he's an amazing human being. Love him.
He is.
But yeah, so like I said, third co-hosts tended to change out here and there yonder with things that would happen. And then it just died one day. No joke, it just up and died. So, but yeah, but of course it entirely prepared me for the Guardian Hub because I didn't have that like nervous skitterishness.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that thing. Exactly.
You got a lot of experience under your belt, so it was a smooth transition, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't have that nervousness of talking to invisible people. Whether you're doing YouTube, whether you're starting a stream, whether you're doing a podcast, of course, unless you're on Discord like now, and there's stages, you're talking to invisible people.
Yeah.
You're talking to people in the hopes that in the future people are going to listen and connect to you. So it's like time travel, man. You're trying to connect with people in the future. And that's the crazy thing about content creation, just in general. But anyway, that nervousness wasn't there. And thankfully it was Kingsley, it was Sin. I knew these people. They had pulled me back in after pretty much like an internet hiatus of like 8 months. It was fun talking to them. I was kind of getting back into the feel of Destiny, and it was just like, I can still be a voice of reason because there's so few still in this community. It is a little ridiculous. So, yeah, so I hopped back in, and I'm stuck again.
It's a great 4 or 5 Discords we all hang out in. It's become quite a great community. I mean, it is fantastic. There's always something going on, that's for sure. But
yeah,
whether you want it to or not, yeah.
Let's see. I know we got a lot to cover tonight. I just was wanting to catch up with Des here before we go. I always ask a question. Is there something about you that maybe the community doesn't know? But I'm gonna alter that question a bit tonight. Is there anything podcasting with Sin and Kingsley that the community may not know? Spill it.
Oh God.
Trouble.
Hey, you're the one starting trouble.
I will freely say, I can and will freely say what may or may not be known. If you ever wonder why it takes like 4 days for an episode to go up, even though we record on like Thursday,
right?
And episodes don't come up until like Tuesday. Just at Sin. I'll let you know that at Sin. The man that amazingly now works from home and still has no time. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, editing's hard.
But no, seriously though, it's definitely Sin. If I had a computer, I would. Yeah, I mean it is Sin, but again, he's legitimately like a busy guy somehow. I kind of feel bad for him because again, he like started working from home to have free time, and he still like doesn't have free time, and it's like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
So playfully bug Sin. Yeah,
I totally empathize with Sin. I know what he has to go through to prep the podcast and stuff. But Hazel, I was curious before we move on to the TWAB. You want to go around the horn and maybe a couple things we've been watching this week?
Yeah, for sure.
Who wants to start?
Yeah, we'll start with our guest.
Yeah.
Course.
Oh yeah, of course. Des, any shows or animes or?
I love how you say that.
Sorry, that sounded terrible. Is there anything you've been watching this week?
Actually, legitimately, I haven't seen an anime in so long.
Thank you. Well,
it's not the fact that I don't enjoy anime. It's just, I don't know, there's... But no, as far as watching, I don't know, I've been behind on my Marvel and stuff, and I'm going to have a Marvel marathon because Black Widow, and apparently now, as I just saw on Disney Plus, Shang-Chi is there. I am super stoked.
Hazel had to flash that.
I'm curious to watch Black Widow, but I'm stoked to dive into Shang-Chi.
I think Black Widow was good. You'll like that. And Shang-Chi, I saw it at the theater. It was very good. I thought it was very good.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what they've done with what's essentially a C-list Marvel hero.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Marvel nerd.
Yeah.
And I have not heard of Shang-Chi before this movie.
Really?
Really. Okay, but to be fair, I was also I was very specifically an X-Men nerd.
Oh, okay.
So there is aspects of Marvel that I wasn't as deep in back in the day. Because my first comic book I actually collected was when I actually got my own money and started buying my own comics. The very first comic book I picked up was X-Men Age of Apocalypse Alpha.
Okay.
It was a full front and back cover. It was foil. It was fantastic. And it kickstarted, of course, a storyline that legitimately stopped for like a year. It stopped all Marvel prints and stories.
I didn't get into comic books. I don't know what the hell I missed, because all these movies are coming out now about all these alternative comics, and I have no context. Some of them I don't have any context for them, and I really wish I read more comic books. I think I don't know where the hell I was. I think I was in baseball. I was so enveloped in baseball, playing baseball as a kid, and even into high school, that I think I just missed it. I missed the boat.
I mean, it's potential. I mean, that in comics, I'll say around your age frame.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't just
they weren't as mainstream.
Yeah. My brother was, which hilariously, he's 12 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he got me into a bunch of things, and comic books were just one of those, especially X-Men, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, it was Spider-Man, Superman. I mean, it was your basic comics. A lot of these alternative comics didn't appear till later, I think, when they started expanding the universes, but I don't quote me on that. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure Gatr.
It's hilarious because you would think Guardians of the Galaxy, even though it was an alternative comic, I think was a comic in the 80s.
Wow.
That didn't do well. It was stopped and was restarted in sometime 2000s. So when they decided to do a movie about Guardians of the Galaxy, they picked up on the newer storyline instead of the older storyline.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like the world's. I'm just a Marvel nerd, so yeah. But I'm gonna have to dive into those.
It's funny you say that, because I was actually my wife and I were talking. We're trying to decide what we're gonna watch tomorrow. And because on Disney Plus, like you said, Shang-Chi's on there, but also Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was good.
And
it's entertaining.
Trying to think. Oh, another movie on Netflix, like Red Notice. So she's a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
In case anybody doesn't know. And yeah, I look so much.
That's got Ryan Reynolds. Come on.
Yeah.
That look good. I mean, The Rock. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are
I'm sorry. I'm a stand for Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
yeah. Who doesn't love the guy? I mean,
Ryan Reynolds is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
But of course, then again, it's also one of the few actors I've probably caught. Like, I'm just old enough to catch the beginning of his career or the start of his up and coming with Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Yep, I love that show.
Right. So him and Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling, I followed a lot too because, again, being younger, I remember him playing young Hercules.
Oh my God, that goes way back.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I just watched.
There's certain actors I attach to.
I just watched the 2049 movie again. He's so good in that. Blade Runner 2049. But Hazel, what about you, man? Any couple shows you've been watching this week? Just kind of moving around here.
I've been I watched. I'm trying to think what else I've been watching. Atlanta. I started that. And I actually finished it, I want to say, this week. So that's a show with Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
Really?
And, yeah.
I gotta see that.
It was just crazy good. So I mean, I know that I don't know anybody like noticed that I mentioned Dave before, that show. But this is like a much better version of Dave. And I know that I said that Dave was fantastic and everything, but this is on a whole nother level.
I vaguely remember that, I think.
So
potentially.
Yeah, Dave was very good, and Dave was like a gateway drug for this. And now this is just like hardcore, just fantastic storytelling. I mean, the things that they do in this show are just absolutely bonkers, but it's very good, very well told. So, aside from that, I don't even know what the hell I've been watching. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. It'll come back to me, I'm sure, at some point. I'll chime in.
I did see a couple movies at the theater this week, or into last week, into this week before this show. And the first one I saw is called Last Night in Soho. It's an Edgar Winter film. Dude, I did not know what I was watching when I went into this. And it got 75% from critics, 90% from the audience. I was surprised. Damn good movie, man. I really liked it.
You didn't. No way.
What? No, I did. It was a great movie. I loved it. What? What's so funny?
You didn't like this movie at all, did you?
And it was Edgar Wright, not Edgar Winter. Edgar Winter was a songwriter. Edgar Wright movie. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Very entertaining. And whenever it comes out to streaming, definitely want to watch it. Well worth it. It was very good. Okay, and I'm going to probably get in trouble here, but I did see Eternals last night. 47% from critics, 80% from audience. I got to say, man, I was expecting one thing and got another. I thought the story was kind of meh. The story was very disjointed. And I'll tell you what, I fell asleep twice in it, dude. And for a Marvel movie, my wife had to she had to frickin' elbow me a couple times. I can't. It just was really slow. The first half of the movie, and it was a 2-hour, 40-minute movie. It was a long one. And I know it's a setup movie, right? They're setting everything up for the sequels. It just dragged. The first part of the movie just dragged on for me. Chat, what do you think?
That's fair.
By the way, we are podcasting live tonight in our Discord channel, in our podcast live stage channel for the listeners out here who probably wondering what the hell's going on. And it's where you can join our Discord, come in and listen to our show. It's kind of like live. It is live streaming, I guess, but there's no video or anything. It's just you're listening to the audio. It's like listening to a live audio show. But man, I was really disappointed. I came away from that movie going, yeah, it was okay. I mean, I was expecting action, fights, massive things going on, and the end credits were freaking great. The post credits were great. They had 2 of them, by the way.
Well, again, that's the issue with the Eternals, though.
I just didn't.
I mean, I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm not going to give spoilers.
But just from what I know about the Eternals, again, from comic sources, though, because of course there's something changed, which is, that's why I like Marvel movies now. Because I used to be that guy that was like, it's got to be source material. It's got to be true to source material. But then I became that guy that's more like, yeah, but if I want that story again, I can track those comics down. The Marvel does a lot of comics digitally now.
Right.
You can probably track those comics down and you can read those stories again. So I'm more into like these newer interpretations. Because I mean, good Lord. Who knew Robert Downey Jr. would perfectly be Tony Stark? Who knew Chris Evans was going to pull off Captain America? I didn't. I'll admit that. I thought that was a joke casting and he was going to flub horribly.
Right. Yeah, but Eternals, you got to think about it. Eternals, and Zoe Chao was the director. And I guess it was very well directed. I mean, my God, the star power in this movie, they had everybody in there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And in our chat here, RNG Gatr says, they had to, Eternals is not going to be like other Marvel movies. They have to start somewhere. I just said that. I understand. Well, yeah. It's a setup movie. It's a movie that they have to have a lot of backstory. They had a lot of zipping back in the past and into the future, and a lot of the tug of war just was, I don't know. Yeah. It was discombobulating to me.
But again, I mean, that's the issue with a group of superpowered beings that have been around since prehistory, taking the form of even like being like the connection to ancient gods. Yeah. These people are. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it, because you have so much like history that you're really trying to expound upon in a single movie.
Right. It's a
like
lot.
to a degree. To a degree, I wasn't expecting a lot out of Eternals just because of the ground they have to cover. That's like the genius that I thought they were doing with like Disney Plus with like WandaVision, with like I guess just WandaVision, like trying to break in multiverse before Phase 4 just like rips multiverse a new one, and we really start getting into things. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I knew that was going to be controversial, but I mean, the fact that the critics gave it such a low score, I kind of have to agree with them there a little bit.
Screw the critics.
You know, I know there's some purists out there, and you know, when it comes to critics, I'm probably a lot of like you said, a lot of Marvel nerds out there that, you know, it doesn't follow perfectly to the story, then it's not the.
But then again, my taste in movies is very, very different.
It's a thing. That's
than
why
your average nerd.
Well, that's why I go by. You know, I usually look at the. I don't look at the 5-star ratings. I don't look at the 1-star ratings. I look at the 3 and 4-star ratings, because those are the people who are actually going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, but I say that I'm different on movies because I have a very hot take, and I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a good movie. And this is where everyone hates me.
I liked all the Spider-Mans.
I don't remember actually hating that one.
I like all the Spider-Mans, even all the derivations.
I hated Spider-Man 3.
That one wasn't. It got weird. Spider-Man 3 was too. It was too busy.
I think
it was way too busy.
I think we have a question about Spider-Man tonight.
Yeah, we do.
In our podcast question, so we'll dive into that a little later. Well, hey guys, thanks, Des.
Real quick,
I
thought of I have another show actually.
Okay, what's up?
Doom Patrol is back.
I've been watching that.
So I was funny because we were doing scrims, and I was on a team. This was last week, and I was on a team with Zaniac and Converse Falls, and Zaniac goes, "Hey,
Converse."
He's like, "I've got a question for you, Hazel." He's like, "I just started Doom Patrol." He's like, "It's kind of fucking out there, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
it is.
Yep, it is. It's completely batshit crazy." He's like, "I love it." And he said that his wife will come in sometimes and just like want to watch it with him. And she'll ask like all these questions like, "Well, who's that person? Why is there a donkey in here?" And he just goes like, "Nope." He's like, either one, he's like, "I'll restart it and then we all watch it together."
Right.
Or he's like, "But I'm not going to do this."
My wife does that too.
It's way too much. And I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, even in season 3, the show is completely batshit crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I have not seen it, but it is good to see Brendan Fraser still doing things.
Yeah. I like him in that. He does a good job.
Exactly.
The comedy's there, man. I mean, it is. He's still very funny.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
I thought he fell off the face of Succession.
I'm trying to follow the story. It's you know they kind of go out there a little bit. So, but I'm enjoying it.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Doom Patrol. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Man, there's so many shows on right now. I'm watching Foundation on Apple TV. I'm watching Morning Show. My wife and I watch that. It's pretty good. It's well written. There's one called Invasion. I think I talked about it a couple of shows ago. That is really good. I get a lot of Alien vibes from that. Very good movie or show, series, whatever the hell they call it now. Yeah, I mean, Apple TV's killing it, man. They got a new movie out, another movie with Tom Hanks about an apocalyptic robot, and it's just definitely over the holidays. That's the time to get Apple TV, at least for a couple months, and then cancel it after the new year. I don't care, but Finch, yes, thank you, Orangey Gator Finch. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting to see it. But
yeah, you also started a new show, right?
New show.
Well, I can like.
I've seen so many new shows. Well, Masked Singer, of course. Last night.
Yeah, that's definitely not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I saw
Succession.
Yes. Oh my God. I not only did I just watch Succession, I binged the hell out of it. I've done through all 3 seasons, or I'm caught up now to the latest season. That is a freaking awesome show. And my wife's like, "You didn't see it with me?" I'm like, "Honey, we haven't even finished Morning Show yet." because she has very little time to watch TV. By the time she gets home, she's exhausted. She's working 12-hour days, and she's done. I can get one hour show, and it's usually Shark Tank. So that's what we watch tonight. So what are you going to do? All right, guys. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And Des, it's good to hear things are looking up, man. And thanks for catching up with us. But it's that time, guys. It's time for This Week at Bungie. All right, 12th week, Season of the Lost. What is going on in the TWAB this week, Hazel? Just a little bit? Little thing here and there?
No, it's a girthy TWAB.
Yeah, it's girthy today. Yep.
Yeah.
Hazel, what's in the TWAB? Hazel. Come on, Hazel.
Yeah, what's in the TWAB?
What's in the TWAB? What's in the TWAB? Fucking tell me what's in the TWAB. Okay. This week at Bungie. So, some controversy. Then, basically the controversy is the Threads of Light that was released, and everybody gave the Hunter and Warlock shit for looking like ass. And
I believe you were one of those people.
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were.
No.
I'm sorry, go on.
I'm not no, that's you, man. So no. But I forget who it was, but one of the people behind Threads of Light said, you know what? You guys keep bitching. We're going to end it. Yeah, just fucking came out with it like that. So
Nice.
yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, I guess all the bitching stopped. So
yeah, suck it, nerds.
sort of. Then, real quick here before we get onto the meaty girthiness of it here. So the Bungie Bounty is coming back for the UK and Latin American populations. So keep an eye out for those. It'll be November 15th.
Next week?
Yeah, which will be Monday, and then that's for Latin America, and then UK on the 20th, which will be next Saturday.
Good.
So, hey, UK people, hook me up on Saturday, and maybe we can get the Bungie Bounty and get a kick-ass emblem.
There we go. Let's do it.
So, all right. Then, the meaty girthiness of it. So,
Pew,
here
pew.
we go.
Pew, pew.
Okay. Well, actually, but first, there's something else. So it's Transgender Awareness Week, and in honor of that, Bungie is releasing a new emblem for everybody. It looks pretty kick-ass. It has a code with it. It's in the TWAB. I'll go ahead and read it here for anybody. You can go to bungie.com/redeem and type in this code. It is ML3FD4ND9. And you can go ahead and get that. And then there you go. It'll be in your flare area. And then just so you know, so I actually hooked up All Thumbs, Ron, with an emblem because I did a random drawing of my subscribers on YouTube. And I was like, hey, congratulations, you get a damn emblem. Here you go. So I gave him an emblem that I had. And he's like, it's not showing up for me. But something to keep in mind is that once you add an emblem, for some reason, they don't get the little shiny thing anymore for flare and emblems. So you're kind of hunting for it.
Yeah.
So, yep. Because that's what happened to me when I tried to look up this one. I was like, where the hell is it? And I couldn't find it. So, there we are.
Also,
right.
right quick, RNG Gatr found the tweet itself, which said if the reaction to these spotlights continues to be toxic and negative while putting down others' creations, we'll stop doing these altogether. Period. Be better.
And I tried to find tried to find the gif of the mom saying, "I will stop this car."
Right?
Who didn't hear that?
Make me turn this around.
Exactly. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So, that's a interesting turn of events there, you know. Then back to the lab again real quick here. So trials this weekend is or was, depending on when you listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Capture the Zone is back. So it's trials labs. You're going to get basically, I think it's double XP. Yeah, double XP for the rank.
Yep.
And then what else is going to happen is that they've actually implemented some of the changes that we wanted. So I hope you weren't driving when I read that, because you would have just wrecked. But Bungie was actually listening, and they actually did something with this. So what they're doing is basically the main changes: 30 seconds after the round starts, a capture zone is enabled. And then the capture points are actually going to be in the middle of the map. And they're going to move basically per round. So it's not going to be like in your, in the losing team's spawn going forward. So good stuff.
I'll probably play it on my Monday and I'll report back.
Well,
Usually-
we've got scrims.
Oh, that's right.
Monday night.
Might be Sunday then. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, who
I know.
knows? Maybe you can get a scrim group together and take them into to owning some.
I pick
pools
soccer.
there.
I pick soccer.
I
pick soccer and Des. Yeah.
What? Huh? What? Wait a minute. What am I
He's
getting
like,
roped into? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I've already done that once.
Come on, we can do it. You, me, and soccer, we can do it.
You mean soccer can do it?
Well, soccer will be running and killing everything, and we'll be running behind him going, "What? What happened?" Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or sniping everyone.
Yes.
I speak from Scrim's experience there. Then, so the map is going to be Endless Vale. So keep an eye out for that. All right. Now, time for the meaty.
Bring it.
Shit.
The real girth.
Yep, exactly. So unhinge your jaw. Here you go.
Did you have to
Give
stop?
it to me.
Is there a spider?
Give it to me, Daddy.
Is there a
Nope,
spider?
No spiders. No
Okay,
spiders. I killed
alright.
that bastard before it fucking got on here.
You said you'd burn your house down. I'll burn it to the ground. That's what he said.
Yep.
Ah.
So, pew pew. Okay, so
Pew
with
pew.
the 30th anniversary, they're making some changes to the sandbox. All right, so I'm gonna go over these just by section, and then we'll see, what we think about these. Okay.
All right.
All right. So shotguns, reduced slug, shotgun PVE damage from 30% to 20%. Gave pellets spread shotguns 10% bonus damage in PVE. Linear fusions increase PVE damage by 10%. That's going to be beautiful, especially with particle deconstruction.
Yeah, it is. At least for the rest of
Casters.
the season.
Yeah, exactly. Caster swords, reduced heavy attack ammo cost from 8 to 5. Bows are getting a 10% damage increase versus rank and file enemies. And then sidearms and fusion rifles. Now, this one I'm just going to have to, this one's sort of moot, I guess, but it's increased sidearm and fusion rifle projectile speed from 999 to 9,999, which makes them hit scan regardless of frame rate.
In other words, Call of Duty. That's how
Whatever.
everything in Call of Duty is hit scan.
Sure.
Yes, but Hazel, can you explain why?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Why?
Why do they do that?
Why the change, Hazel? Come
Yeah,
on.
Why the change?
Hazel.
Why the change? Okay, so here it is. So okay,
This is where he tells you you're number one.
no, not at all, not at all, because I'm not Gatr, so I actually do my homework.
What? What?
So okay, so behind the scenes, the engine does the math actually converting a projectile in the game from non-hit scan to hit scan.
That's crazy.
If it would cover a specific distance in one frame, so this would only occur running at 60 frames per second or higher.
Yeah.
So basically now it's going to be hit scan no matter whatever your frame rate is. So it would actually be less at lower like frames.
I swear there's so many ghost bullets when you're using the risk reward is so scary now when using fusions, even the fast firing rapid fire fusions. I mean, I'll when you're running into somebody and lighting them up with a fusion rifle, if you don't get that kill, you're just toast. There's no, I mean, the windup is so long afterwards. There's no way that you're going to be able to rebound from that if they're half a decent player. So I swear sometimes I'll hit someone with all the pellets and some of them just don't count. So anyway, that was a good explanation. It's passable.
Yeah, I'm not fucking looking in chat anymore. Fucking mine.
We got a bunch of spider memes.
Not funny. All right. So what do you guys think about these? Shotguns getting a buff and a nerf, linear fusions getting a general increase because pretty much Bungie wants people to use these going forward. Caster swords, Bungie wants people to use them too. So they're reducing the ammo cost there. Bows, they're just trying to make bows something. Yeah. So increasing
Still
that.
Trying.
So what do you guys think about these changes? Anything special here?
Des?
No hesitation, Des. What you think? No, I definitely have slug shotguns are still going to be boss DPS go or a boss DPS go to. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be probably quite as strong. Regular shotguns are just going to be better to use because it's flat PvE damage. Bows are still not going to be a thing. It's like, stop trying to make fetch a thing, Bungie. It's not going to happen. Until you increase their damage against majors at least, they're not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, we can murder rank and files all day, but as soon as a freaking elite comes out, you're doing nothing with a bow. So, yeah.
Just wait. Yeah. They'll buff it like another 10% next season. So.
Yeah, no, to rank and files. Yeah. That way you can just absolutely murder that thrall.
As long as it doesn't change it in Crucible, I don't care.
Yep.
But no, yeah, it's these changes aren't too
they're not crazy
drastic. Like they said, they're just trying to cement linears as an option post particle deconstruction.
Exactly.
We're just going to really benefit from that. Also, to make note, that's a flat damage buff to linears because the last time linears got buffed, it was precision damage only.
Yeah.
So that means it's going to be even greater.
Yep.
Hitting precisions. So it's going to be over 10% on precision hits, which is going to be fantastic. And again, we get to reap that benefit with particle deconstruction, which is just going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with everything Des said there. As far as the caster swords, I really don't use a lot of caster swords because one, like you said, they use so much ammo, and they don't. I'm sorry, they don't do the damage that the baby Dark Drinker does.
Though, also in PvP, it will actually make casters slightly more viable because I believe that means with this ammo reduction, you can actually get two shots of a caster off. Yeah,
that might be
instead
worth
of just one.
That might be worth bringing in, but usually it's one shot and you're done. That's it. Well, of course, it's like one rocket.
Exactly.
But
is that going to impact Black Talon?
I don't know.
No, not at all. Because Black Talon uses uses 3 ammo for its power attack. It does not use it's not a caster.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I know that it throws out that, but
yeah,
I wasn't sure.
It's a projectile, but it's not a caster.
Oh,
and again, it only uses 3 ammo. So if you like casters, you might as well use Black Talon anyway, because you can get 3 shots off Black Talon.
Right.
And you can use Black Talon in the air. Casters can't do that. So just saying.
Black Talon's awesome.
Yep. I just have nightmares of Azanis.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was about to shout out
everyone thinks of Azanis as soon as you say that sword.
Exactly. My God, he clung to it for so long. Yep. I'm just glad he's clinging to Black Talon now, because before Black Talon came out, he was clinging to Worldline. And Black Talon is just a better choice for everything.
All right. So moving on here, exotics. So with this,
The real girth.
Vex, yeah, meaty. So with this, the Vex is getting a nerf. So, yeah, exactly. But relax. If you have it, Gatr, this does not pertain to you. It's not that bad.
It's all right. I'm fine with it.
So this isn't that bad. So this is mainly for Crucible. So with it, reduced aim assist by 25. Reduce the linear fusion rifle mode aim assist cone scaler from 1.1 to 1.05. And then now requires 3 eliminations for fully overcharge or for full overcharge instead of 2. So not too shabby. Now basically you have to actually be good to, kill people with the Vex. So
Yeah,
From a distance.
you have to aim it.
yeah, you have to aim it. You can't just
I mean, it had 100 aim assist. I mean, you'd shoot someone's foot and they get a headshot. I mean, come on.
From a distance also.
You remember Queen's
Close range is still going to be a nightmare.
Remember how bad the aim
Like, up
assist
close is still
was?
going to be a nightmare.
Remember Queen's Breaker bow? How bad the aim assist was on that? You could aim at their toe and invading and gambit and get a clean headshot and kill them. It was so insane. It's the way I feel with Vex. And you can defend yourself against Vex. You just can't be in the open. As long as you're using cover and you're cover shooting, you'll be fine against a Vex.
Yep. Lane next to cover.
Yes.
All right. So Fighting Lion. Does anybody even use Fighting Lion?
Yes.
Cami Cakes.
Well, I mean like in our community.
I haven't used it in a while.
I will say this also. If you love grenade launchers and you're not using Fighting Lion in PvP, you are doing it wrong. Because Fighting Lion is a primary weapon, which means infinite ammo. Just saying.
That's
Yep.
So
yeah.
carry
It's
on.
funny you say that.
And all you got to do is
Yeah.
damage to proc the reload speed.
Well, exactly. You stole it.
Sorry, I'm just following along with the conversation.
So yeah. So okay. So basically, with it, it's funny that you say that because now, it's basically, I mean, like, it's astounding. I mean, we're going to see a whole lot more of these in Crucible.
Oh yeah.
So yes, they removed the multi-hit requirement. So now, dealing any damage will grant the buff to Fighting Lion, which is amazing. And then increase the buff to the reload stat from 50 to 70.
Jeez.
And then increase the buff duration to 7 seconds. I'll tell you what.
Xanafan's just so happy right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to blow the dust off my Fighting Lion because I cannot wait to use this damn thing again.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Hilarious anecdote on the last zone capture trials, which was the last time I ran into a Fighting Lion. Capture point was in middle. They were pelting our hallway with grenades just consistently, like regardless of reload speed or not. They were just pelting us with grenades. I was playing with Kato and Sin. And Sin, all of a sudden, like I said, like 3-4 grenades fly by. All of a sudden, Sin goes, "How much ammo does this freaking thing have?" And me and Kato thus respond to him, "It's infinite ammo. It's a primary."
Have you guys ever played against a team of Fighting Lions? It's just miserable.
It is. I mean, it's because it's
so oppressive.
I never realized the strength. Like, after the primaries became infinite, I never realized the strength of Fighting Lion until that match.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when it crossed my mind suddenly. It's like, oh no. He doesn't have to worry about special.
Yep. And if you have the quick sling on, you just go back to a hand cannon to finish you off if you have whatever health you have left. If the good players do that, they tend to blend with it. But
I used to rock quick sling with my mountaintop.
It's just
It's
crazy.
fantastic.
I'll tell you,
dirty.
Just listening to this talk, it makes me smile so much. I just can't wait to use this damn thing.
I'm dreading it.
See, that's the difference here because Gatr is just like, he's this traditionalist. He's like, give me my pulse rifle, give me, my fusion rifle.
Regular weapons.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, here I am like, so let me get this straight. I have a grenade launcher that I can shoot at an angle off this wall and hit somebody and kill them.
Mm-hmm. This is a
Give
shooter.
It to me.
It's a shooter. It's not a pool game. We're not shooting pool.
Yeah, but
it's a gun game.
The fighting line's a gun.
It's a first-person shooter.
It says the Call of Duty player, which is a game known for cross-match tomahawk kills.
Oh, I believe me, I've gotten hit by those tomahawks.
Huh.
I've gotten hit by those.
Who likes Telesto?
Oh yeah.
Oh, moving on. What was the next thing? Arbalest? Something about Arbalest got a buff or something?
Yeah. Moving on. Nothing to see here. So Arbalest now has intrinsic anti-barrier starting December 7th. Yay! So basically everybody is going to be running anti-barrier or Arbalest for that. So
yeah, there was no reason to really use it. Otherwise,
well, I mean, it's still pretty damn good.
It's still potent in Crucible.
It's good in
there's
PvE.
a thing called PvE.
Yes.
No, and it is fantastic because not only does it break shields, but it has disruption break on it, which means it buffs its own damage against enemies as you break their shield. Right. Arbalest is a fantastic piece of equipment in PvE, and them giving it anti-barrier.
Yeah, exactly. I was happy about this from the time they mentioned it like a month ago. So
I am sad to still not see a aim assist reduction in Arbalest, but that's fine.
Yeah,
you can be that way, Bungie. You can be that way.
I like this one too, though. So Sleeper
this next one
is getting a magazine increase from 3 to 4, and then increased PvE damage by 6%. Yeah.
And to take note, they do mention that Sleeper, seriously this time, will benefit from the 10% linear buff as well. So Sleeper is doing an extra 16% damage.
That is love right there. You know?
That is going to be fantastic.
Miners in our chat. Miners in our chat saying we had a bet last week that if they didn't reset we had a bet whether they were going to reset the weapon or prize pool for trials when the 30th anniversary came out, and we made a bet. Hazel and I did, not to get off topic here, that we had to name each other. Whoever won got to name the other host for the rest of the season in the Discord. And Miner says, "Can we put in some recommendations for names?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah. Well, what I plan on doing is basically I'm leaving it to the community. So they can change, they'll just have to message me, and whoever messaged me first, I'll change your name to that, whatever it is.
Oh my God. I'm not
so,
going to
you're going to have a new name every day.
I'm not going to say that one out loud.
I like that, Miner.
Oh, no. Our chat's getting quite lively, listeners out there who don't see it. But
it's waking up all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is definitely waking up.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, now we can put past the spider shit now. So.
Oh, I'll bring it back. So Sleeper Simulant.
Suros Regime is a thing for anybody who forgot about it. So with this, the dual mode, which fires at 360 RPMs, is getting a buff of 30 range and 3 zoom. Which is sort of a nerf.
I like this. No, I like this.
No.
This is a major buff.
No, major
buff.
Adjusting the zoom that much is kind of frightening, to be honest.
I mean, all they're doing here is they're giving you the benefit of an actual slow firing. How is it? A high impact auto rifle. They're giving you the benefit of you, just like you're using it when you switch to it. Where in the past, you didn't get any buff of that stuff.
Which in PvP still don't. But the good news is you can use it and hit people. Because just to put it in perspective, zoom more affects damage fall off than range does.
Mm-hmm.
So that +3 zoom can give you an extra 15 meters of full damage on a bullet.
Zoom is so important. It really is.
It's kind of massive.
And see, I when I use the Suros, I don't like the speed up. I like the dual mode receiver mode. I like it where it slows down. But it never had enough pop. It never had enough, it seemed like it was still limited like a regular auto rifle was. So this is good news for me because I like using the rifle.
It's still limited like a 360, but you know.
But yeah, but...
If you want to win gunfights with Suros, you speed up.
I know, it's bullets. I know. I get that, but I always liked it. In Destiny 1, it had so much more power when it was in low mode. It would just annihilate bosses.
Well, because it broke everything. It had its own focus fire perk that gave it even more damage than any other focus fire perk.
I forgot about that. Oh, that was nice. Good old days.
Because one of the changes they made to Suros was they gave it the legendary focus fire.
Right. Oh, I'm telling you, that was a great rifle in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
It's one of the first exotics I got. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, that's the one I think that I bought from Xur. That was my first exotic that I bought from Xur. I think it was like week 2, I think.
No, week 2 was Gjallarhorn.
Oh, okay, yeah, week 3 then. Yeah, it was the week after that. Because who the fuck would buy a fucking rocket launcher?
Yeah, don't. I don't want to relive. I don't want to relive that memory.
I love reliving that memory because yes, that was the entire community. Mm-hmm. Why waste your strange coins on an exotic heavy? Yes. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Like 6 months later, Gjallarhorn and Truth became like the go-tos in PvE and PvP respectively.
It's like Sin says, it's like must-have Gjallarhorn for almost all the LFG groups. Now it's now it's must-have Vex.
No. Now it's must-have 1K.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I need to grind for that again. Crap.
Yeah.
I was forgetting something.
Same here.
I used it last night on some Grandmasters. We still didn't get through, but it was a lot of fun using it though. I'm sorry. We're totally. What are we doing? We're doing
story. There's a story about that.
Oh, there is.
There's a question that we ask it. I plan on sharing a story.
Okay, great.
So Cryosthesia 77K, the gun that everybody forgot about, except for Ascendant Nomad, who found out that if you're a hunter and you run stasis and you freeze somebody with this, you can shatter dive them.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I mean, shatter dive activates on any freeze. This doesn't just have to be a grenade.
Yeah.
Was that not common knowledge?
I didn't know that.
No.
I thought you had to throw the grenade.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It was just the grenade. But yeah, I mean, it was great. I was watching him and he froze the guy, jumped up in the air, did a shatter dive, and got a double kill.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Crystals of frozen flesh killed the other person. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because specifically...
Good.
I was about to say, specifically, the fragment that increases the damage and size of stasis crystals when shattered does specify also frozen targets.
Yeah. The only thing that would have made it
just need to read more.
Would have been, well, yeah, pretty much. But the only thing that would have made it better is if it would have happened to Gatr. So, regarding Cryosthesia 77K, removed variable trigger completely. Now fires on trigger press instead of release. This will make it feel much more responsive. I'm glad they made that change because it was sort of cumbersome to figure out, like, when the hell is this shit gonna fire? Charge shot moved to special reload, and then getting a final blow with the sidearm enables access to the special reload.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the charge shot is fired, the weapon reverts back to standard sidearm mode. This does not cost your entire magazine. I'm glad they specified that much there. And then charge shot now causes an AoE, which freezes AI and slows players, but direct hits will still freeze. Right. Next,
I don't know.
Yeah, good.
I was about to say, I never had much of a problem with Cryosthesia because it reminded me of the plasma pistol in Halo. Like its charge, for some reason. I don't know. I made that connection. That and Halo 1 and 2 were pretty much the only Halos I played, so yeah. So it just reminded me of that whole mechanic with the variable trigger. But I'm weird. We know that, and in a couple weeks, that's not going to matter.
True. So, Leviathan's Breath. The catalyst now grants archers tempo, in addition to the other effects.
The other effects? Oh, you mean the extra reserves? Like the 4 or 5 extra arrows you can store?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's fantastic. Great. That was the most disappointing catalyst ever. Sorry.
Yeah,
This
pretty
is
much.
legitimately disappointing catalyst. I grinded that thing out thinking something was going to happen. It's like, oh, I get a few extra arrows.
I don't
Back to the
have
vault
it.
you go.
I don't understand how I don't have that, but I don't.
Did you potentially not do a thing
He didn't do the season pass? Talking about
for the season, Shadowkeep season?
yeah,
Season of Undying.
it was in the season pass bar.
Fuck, no, I did not.
I mean,
Because you see, I was in a weird position because I came back after Season of Undying, but I bought the bundle that gave me prior seasons. So the next season after Season of Dawning, it gave me the quest to get Leviathan's Breath. So
Nice.
I don't know how shenanigans my way through that, but I did, and I have it, and it's disappointing, and I never used it.
Yeah,
Because it's
I didn't really do much. I was sort of anti the season pass model. I think that first season, and I was just like, "Fuck this!" I'm like, this is lame. So yeah, I missed out on the cool Titan wings on the back. But you know, shit happens. I'll live.
Yeah.
Whisper of the Worm. The original DPS king has fallen out of favor, they say.
No, really?
Yeah, exactly. About hitting it with a damn Nerf gun and then, expecting something else to come out of it. So, reduce the delay in activating whispered breathing from the catalyst from 2.1 seconds to 1.2 seconds. White mail magazine refill changed. So was 3 in the from inventory, now pulls 2 from inventory and 1 from thin air.
I like this.
Nice.
Oh, and
It's a whole free magazine.
And then one last thing here. Increased damage in PvE by 10%.
Which is again flat damage.
Yeah.
Better for precision. Better when whispered breathing is happening.
Oh.
I want to see those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I feel bad for Morgoth.
You know, that's actually the worst thing to use Whisper on.
Well, is that going to be like, well, I mean, maybe not after this.
No, because Morgoth doesn't have precision scalers. So it's actually bad to use a precision weapon against Morgoth.
Really? The big tumor on his back?
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't have precision scalers like Kali and them do. So the 2 worst bosses to use Whisper in for Last Wish are indeed Morgoth and Riven herself. Because they don't have the insane precision scalers the other bosses have. Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't know that.
Huh.
So even though we were using it like crazy on Morgoth, that was actually a bad thing.
I did not know that. I was using it on him. It.
I know, so was I. Because it was getting it done.
Wow. Huh.
Okay. Right. So moving on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot to cover.
Okay. So they've touched a lot here.
I like this next one. I really like this next one.
This next one, the weapon that nobody uses.
I want to use it.
So you're like the only person. Darcy, reduced flinch, recoil, and accuracy degradation by 50% while personal assistant is active. Personal assistant now has a 1-second delay before deactivating when off target, was instant, and then increased damage in PvE by 20%.
Yes.
If that works in PvE and PvP, I'm definitely going to try using it. I love that rifle.
Well, the damage won't, but everything else should.
No, but I'm talking about the reduce flinch and all that. Yeah, recoil.
Oh yeah, that should.
I mean, it already doesn't have any recoil. That's what I love about that sniper rifle, the Darcy.
Yeah, it's got a bit. But the great news is Darcy at one point in time used to be a close second
DPS
to Whisper.
King. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's getting an extra like 20%.
And you can fire it fast.
Well, it's a rapid fire sniper.
Yeah, it's perfect for DPS.
So, I mean,
Yeah, it had like
This-
the highest magazine count and highest reserve count, if I remember correctly.
And if you have the catalyst, it's just kicks ass, man. I love that rifle.
yeah. Like, this could be the new best weapon. I mean, not a lot of people care about it now, but this could be like potentially the new best DPS weapon on Taniks. Second phase.
You say it might be a sleeper? See what I did there?
No, because that would be sleeper.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm telling you, keep an eye on this next patch. This may be the weapon.
I'm excited to see those numbers too.
20%. I'm going to try it.
Super stoked.
I'm going to bring it in a
Like-
deep stone and see what happens.
Like, legitimately, I'm excited to see, of course, I mean, Sleeper and Whisper numbers Sleeper numbers are just going to be fantastic, but Whisper, Darcy, and Leviathan's Breath, I want to see numbers on those 3 weapons.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Archer's Tempo doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, we're talking about a bow that just has an insanely long draw time, so if you can actually get something going on that,
Mhm.
it has potential to be a DPS
Yeah, I agree.
competitor.
Yeah.
It just has the fact that it fires fast and has a deep reserve of ammo. This looks good.
This could be good news.
Yeah.
Could be good news.
I'm looking forward to this one, though. So, Malfeasance was deemed underwhelming. So, yes. So, they decided to increase the explosion damage by 50%.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the hand cannon that fires fast? You can load them up with bullets and they all explode?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
The one that has like an ammo magazine of like 20 now because of the the 180 hand cannon change that they made.
Oh my.
So-
oh my.
You can proc because the explosion procs on every 5th hit. So
Okay.
you can get 4 explosions without reloading.
Oh,
And they
man.
do more damage.
I wonder how this will work in
Yeah.
Crucible too. That's gonna be awesome.
They'll die before.
He says it. He sounds so just like
50%.
Oh God.
I mean, but the only bad thing is most people die before 5 rounds to malfeasance. in PvP.
That's true. It never procs. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I want to see is somebody take this into trials and get like 2 headshots on one person,
Yeah.
2 hedshots on another,
Get the
and then-
exploding shot on the third person or second half.
Yeah. and it kills all 3 people in trials.
Oh, that would be great. I'm about to try it.
This
So-
is potentially going to be my gambit weapon again.
Man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it should only be used in Gambit for the most part
Because it works
So,
against.
I mean, it's fantastic in
yeah,
gambit.
it's
Like,
bonus damage against Taken, basically.
Yes.
and invaders.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
right.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it is better against invaders because invaders have overshield, so they
Yes.
can actually get the proc from the slugs potentially.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all got to remember who ran a crap ton of gambit with Exonix back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So,
Awesome.
Dead Man's Tale. I'll refrain from making any smart-ass remarks. So Dead Man's Tale. So I'm just going to read this word for word because of reasons.
Please do.
So we've seen the scout rifle's usage drop dramatically on consoles since the recent nerf. So we spent some time tuning it in a way that benefits controller much more than mouse and keyboard. I.e., we don't believe this buff will improve the weapon much on mouse and keyboard. Specifically, touching hip fire with the catalyst. Note, this isn't actually branching the tuning between input devices, but the bits we touched are either only present or are much more impactful on controller. So, increased reticle friction fall-off distance, no effect on mouse and keyboard. Less recoil, reduced effect on mouse and keyboard. Improved accuracy, reduced effect on mouse and keyboard.
Why, Bungie? Why?
Shut your mouth, Gatr.
I'm using this shit. Let's go.
I know who's
December
also going to
7th
use this. I also know who's going to continue to use this rifle. God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but is he on M&K or is he on
He's
controller?
on M&K.
NK.
So yeah, it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah,
He's just going to get everything he still loves about it.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter to him.
It's not getting nerfed.
I've already heard the nightmare that Converse is with DMT.
Oh my god, he was two-tapping me.
And
It's
I'm
crazy.
It's glorious.
Yeah, and
if you're on his team.
Wait, see, I knew Converse back. Converse is hi Converse, by the way, if you're listening. Probably not anyway. But anywho, no, he's the guy that helped me get better in PvP in D1.
That rifle's crazy in his
I
hands.
would 1v1 him. Shocking news, he would have 20 kills like my 5.
Yeah, he's really good.
I'm impressed you just hit 5.
I was getting better. It took me a while to get to 5, and I think I only got to 5 once.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Is that because he had to reload?
No, I mean, I was taking to his lessons pretty well, and like I said, I got to 5. But it didn't help that we were both hunters. We were both pulse rifle enthusiasts. Our main difference was the fact that he had a higher discipline using a different exotic piece, while I was using Shinobus to get double skip nades. But we were both using skip nades. So hilariously, we also found out during our 1v1s that you either wanted to use Shinobus with skip nades or just have a really high discipline and not use that exotic, because you could throw about the same amount of grenades either way.
See,
Because every time he can open an engagement with a grenade, most of the times I could also open the same engagement with a grenade. So,
see, I've been in therapy, thanks to Ascendant Nomad and some other content creators out there about tilt, until I played scrims against Converse Fail with his DMT, and the salt just started rising to the top again. I'm like, Gatr. Yeah,
he's also the reason why I knew that high cal rounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason I knew it was a gimmick. Because after a while, back in doing an RNG, I shifted my view and I kept telling people just to be careful with high cal rounds, because a good player can fight through high cal rounds.
Jeez.
How do I know that? Because Converse did.
Wow.
I was able to get a couple kills because I had a pulse rifle or something with high cals, and it gave me a couple kills where it just threw his aim completely off. But after those couple kills, he was no more.
The next scrim rules. I'm gonna make a rule that he has to use one hand for mouse and keyboard when he plays against us. It was crazy, man. That was frustrating. But you know what? That's how you get better. You play better players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially someone like Converse, which at least back in the day was very willing to help point out flaws and things. And as long as you listen, he can usually help you adapt and get better. Because like I said, it's a lot of the reason I got better back in D1.
He's got a great attitude, and
he's a fantastic individual.
And I've never gamed against him. I've never played against him. So that night I played against him, I'm like, oh wow, this is next level. Yeah.
I mean, I already knew how much of a terror he was because I used to play Crucible with him a lot.
Wow.
And he would go on tears.
Jeez.
You're talking one of his piece de la resistance was like a 1 minute super by just diving into the enemy team and murdering everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just surviving.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to say it was a 1 minute super Converse. Like I said, if he's listening, he can correct me or confirm me on that one. But yeah, it was a super fast super. And we were just able to snowball that match because he was making orbs early. We were getting supers early. We were making orbs. It was all feeding and it was all fantastic. But yeah, anywho.
Yeah.
DMT, cannot wait to give it a shot again. I keep wanting to make DMT work for me because much like him, I love DMT.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I loved all of those weapons.
I can't believe they didn't nerf it. I can't believe they didn't nerf it.
They already nerfed it.
Give it up. Give it up.
Okay,
so
what's the next? What's the next?
The last word of weapons.
Hey, this next news is fantastic news for at least if you've gone up against this weapon in the Crucible.
Okay, so this is the Heir Apparent Catalyst. So this has no effect in PvE, FYI, but reduced damage resistance against players from 75% to 25%.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good change because they are unkillable, almost unkillable.
It's freaking massive, man.
You have to literally wait for them to use all their ammo, and then you can go play again.
I guess I haven't ran across much heir apparent because when I saw that, it's like, are you kidding? That's a big oops. That's a big oops.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So, yeah, I mean, I've gone against it sometimes in trials, and it is as much fun as it sounds being 75% overpowered. So,
I'm curious what the drop to 25% will do. We'll see.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Should be fightable. Also, use arc weapons against heir apparent.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
Because if you pop an arc shield,
yes.
Yeah, if you pop an arc shield, you act like a colossus. So you put all of your friends in danger.
Okay,
which was the risk reward anyway. But yeah, anyhow.
Okay, so I just want to say that I'm pulling a sin right now, and I'm the man in the field, and I just threw on DMT just to see how it feels on M&K. Well, I'm on,
I'm not on
M&K, but I'm on controller. On PC though.
Mm-hmm. Still the same.
It's nasty. It is so nasty.
Controller on a console is a little bit more recoil than a controller on PC. Controller on PC has a lot less recoil.
I haven't had this much fun in the game, and I don't know when. So yeah, definitely try this shit out if you're listening to this.
It's
DMT.
It hasn't even been buffed yet. That's what's coming.
Well, still, I mean, I'm just saying I kind of put it away, and I got the catalyst, and
yeah, me too.
I just never really tinkered with it at all from there. But this shit's fun.
I actually have two great DMTs because I have a Force Times the Charm for PvE, and I have an Outlaw for PvP.
Yeah, I've got Outlaw, and I have Killing Wind.
I've got Subsistence. I've got Subsistence. I got some good ones too.
Yeah, I've got Subsistence too. Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, don't aim. That's the main
Hip fire.
thing with the
Hip
gun.
fire.
Yeah.
Hip fire.
It's the exact same mentality as the last word.
Yeah, just in a
The only time you want to aim is if you're actually looking to use scout rifle distances. Now on M&K, just don't ever aim ever because it doesn't matter. But on controller, definitely because even when you're aiming, it's still very, very strong because it's basically a 120 RPM. Mm-hmm. So you're 3-tapping, which is still really good, and can contend with the likes of Jade Rabbit. So yeah, it's still great as a sniper or as a scout, but yeah, it just has that close range viability thanks to EHAL hip firing.
Yeah, this is so much fun. All right, so moving on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got the Lawrence driver is getting a slight touching here. It is removed ability energy regeneration on picking up telemetry.
Yep.
So I'm okay with that because the Lawrence driver is definitely not fun to play against.
No.
Still no aim assist reduction, Bungie.
I don't understand. I don't understand why they didn't. All I can figure is they're taking the linear fusion, off the artifact next season. So maybe it won't be as much of a terror, but
well, it doesn't matter because it's still going to have its aim assist.
Still pretty crazy. I know.
Well, it's still
because Arbalist
10%,
and
right?
Oh God,
no, don't put it out there.
At least in PvE, that's PvE. That's PvE. Don't make. Ooh, you made my heart stop for a hot second.
All right. So, Traveler's Chosen. Do what?
I was about to say the only thing that won't get that damage buff is Vex, because I think even in linear mode, it's still classified as a fusion rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they nerfed it a little bit. They talked about it earlier. And it takes more shots, more kills to activate the linear fusion.
Yeah, that was here for that.
Instead of 2 for PvP. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Getting killed by that a few times in PvT also. Yep.
Yeah. So Traveler's Chosen. So the ability energy granted from the perk was on a curve that isn't intuitively understood.
I love how they state that.
Yeah. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that room when they said that. Like, how the hell does this work? I don't fucking know. So these changes aren't noticeable in PvE though. So now grants 10% ability energy per stack on activation.
Mm-hmm.
Was previously more generous on low stacks, less generous on high stacks. The average and amount for 10 stacks are unchanged.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then reduced stacks granted on a Guardian defeat from 3 to 2. Okay. So, yeah.
You're pretty much using that as a cumulative effect anyway, because you're not gonna kill that many people all at once.
No,
that run out of ammo.
Okay, so regarding exotics, I mean, I know we've kind of been touching on these as we been going through them, but what do you think? What's one standout change that you see here?
I know about 4 standout changes. Are you kidding me? Like I said, I'm definitely okay. I'm curious about Leviathan's Breath.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
to see if that's going to be any kind of a thing. If anything can do it easily, it'll probably be Archer's Tempo.
I'm curious how quick that is on a heavy bow, though.
I mean, it should be pretty quick, but also bows do have a cap to draw time. But then again, who knows what Leviathan's is?
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy
we'll
long.
find out.
It's crazy long. I love using that bow, but it's crazy long.
Yeah. That charge time is something else. For me,
Sleeper's going to be fun. Whisper's going to be fun.
Whisper is mine. And that's the one I'm looking forward to.
Darcy. Can't get around it.
But see, that's the thing, though. All of these weapons that they've touched here
are stuff nobody's using.
Exactly. We're all things that nobody's like, everybody's like, ew.
And isn't that what refresh of the sandbox is supposed to do? It's supposed to make you and at least incentivize you to use some different stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than hand cannon and shotgun.
Which I mean is probably why. Yeah, which is probably why they're finally buffing Whisper, because now we do have so many like DPS options that it's just kind of sad that Whisper's shunted off now. It's like it's not even considered as a damage option anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully it'll be enough. And if Darcy gets in that race, I'm going to be super happy if Darcy gets back in that race.
I love that.
Darcy should be back, I would say, because of simply the ammo count on that thing.
Yeah, because I don't think Darcy's been in that race since they put it in the special slot.
I've got so many cool ornaments of that gun too.
Oh dear God. All right. So perks are getting a change as well. So with it here, okay. Adrenaline Junkie is now going to be known as Grenade Buckler. So swashbuckler for grenades, which is basically eliminations with a weapon can add single damage stacks or extend existing ones. So grenade eliminations boost the stacks immediately to 5, lowered the duration to compensate for weapon activation. So it's basically swashbuckler for grenades, which is what we all thought this was going to be anyway.
Which isn't what they're calling it, but that's what they called it during development, was Grenade Buckler.
That's a nickname they gave it. Yep.
Yeah.
Which, hilariously, I didn't make that connection until finally figuring out, like, reading the effects. Because, like, Grenade Buckler, that's weird. So I read the effects, and all of a sudden...
Made sense.
On cast is, like, saying, like, oh, it's going to work like Swashbuckler now. Oh, wait, Grenade Buckler. I get it. So, yeah.
Yep.
That was a fantastic moment for me. And my sometimes sharp wit.
And this time, somebody else was sharper.
Right.
All right.
You talking about me?
Vorpal.
Never mind.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right. Miner, thanks for the wishes, and you have a good night, man.
Indeed.
Yeah. Take care, Miner.
All right. So Vorpal weapon is they really want to make Vorpal a thing. Not that it wasn't already, but
it was the thing. But that's the problem. It was the thing. Just flat damage against bosses. Like, it's the thing to go for. Oh, freaking.
Yep. So now with Vorpal, so was 15% damage on all weapons. Now it's going to be 10% on heavy weapons, 15% on special, and 20% on primary.
It's pretty massive for primaries.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a nerf on heavy, but okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking of my aggressive sniper rifle from the Iron Banner that has Vorpal on it. That's going to be nice to have that 5% boost. Well, no, it'll be the same basically.
Well, yeah, it's
all right.
specials are the same.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yep. And then no change to damage versus player in Super.
Okay,
so just
that's
an
good.
FYI.
That's good to know.
So, yep. Whirlwind Blade increased the maximum number of stacks needed to hit maximum damage from 5 to 10.
Let's have a moment of silence for Whirlwind Blade.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
Now. I have a couple good rolls of that.
Yeah,
swords.
exactly. I'm pretty sad by that.
It lost all burst. I mean, this hasn't even come out yet, but it has lost all burst damage capability.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's still going to be great for sustained, but I guess we got to find something else. Oh wait, no, Lament for Atrax. Never mind. My bad.
Never
Moving
mind,
on.
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. But
Oh god,
yeah.
but that actually raises the importance of the Lament for Atrax.
Well, see,
Ugh.
but see, I have like a Falling Guillotine with Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade. Those two are so synergistic.
Yeah, they are, but
Now
still,
it's
you're gonna
not
have
gonna be
it's still
quite as
twice
much.
the time to activate it.
That sucks. All right.
Yeah, which immediately lowers the DPS. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which again raises the Lament for Atrax
Jeez.
just because of this one change.
Hmm.
I just don't like that. Don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I could see them kind of making a change to this in like a season or two. Where they lower it back down to maybe like 7.
Maybe.
Yeah, Mr. Monkey actually makes a good point. It might make Riven Sword Cheese a little tricky. Because it's going to take longer to ramp up to the damage. And, like, sorting Riven can be tricky. Like, with the timing as is. So this could actually ruin sorting Riven.
Hmm. I do not know. We'll have to see.
Mm.
Got to get the reps in. Figure it out.
We'll have to get the Riven and find out all over again.
Ugh.
I hate sandbox changes when you finally get to Riven again. What works now? Oh.
Yeah, that's like everybody's thought right now. Like,
It's like 10 runs until you find what works again.
Yep. Exactly.
So next is Pulse Monitor, which is a change that people are pretty excited about.
Yeah.
So with this change the threshold for activation from 90% health to 30% shields.
This is
Massive.
going to be great in PvP.
Yes.
You had to, because I remember Kami
Just
Cakes
engine.
was trying to proc this in PvP, and it was kind of a trick.
It is, because, I mean, your health value is actually so small compared to your shield value.
Mm-hmm. I like this.
Because you only have less than, like, 90 or 80 health, I believe.
And I got a couple sidearms with this on
I
it.
think it's less than
It's
100.
going to be very interesting to use now.
Yeah, so just in case anybody wants to know what it is, Pulse Monitor. So basically, when your shield gets down to 30%, that's when this is going to kick in. So before, it was 90% health, so your shield had to be broken for this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
what it does is it automatically reloads the magazine and improves your weapon handling when critically wounded, or at 30% shields, even when the weapon is stowed.
Mhm.
So that's pretty nasty.
It's clutch quick draw.
Yeah.
It's just, before, by the time it procced, you're probably already dead in PvP.
True.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly my point.
Maybe not in PvE. Maybe. You might survive. But PvP, yeah, you're probably dead.
Yeah, once you break your shield, you're pretty much on your way down anyway. Unless you get that sliver of health usually, but there's not too many of those.
And these numbers are really hard to convert to because, again, health and shield values are so weird.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
That could actually make people running resilience more of a thing now. If you think about
it. Probably not so much for
it's a handling. It's a handling
grandmasters.
part. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean for the shield, so you can get to that 30%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like generalistic content, higher resilience could be beneficial. But still, like I said, when you're going up against the harder, the in-game PvE content now, you're dead. You're just freaking dead. Especially if 3 snipers decide to tag team you. Then you're super dead.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of gone over these, so I mean, not really much else to say, I don't think. What about you guys?
Well, I did say about the full auto thing they were doing.
Well, that's mods.
Under mods, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so far ahead already. I'm sorry.
He's fading.
I'm sorry. I'm reading ahead. No, all I know is Whirlwind Blade. I'm sad about Pulse Monitor. I'm kind of curious because I have a couple of good sidearms with Pulse Monitor on. I just hang on to them because you never know when they're going to change stuff, and this might be interesting in PvP.
Yeah. Probably still won't be a thing.
I'm disappointed with Adrenaline Junkie. I thought it'd do more, but oh well.
Oh no, I'm super stoked.
The Adrenaline Junkie is fine. I mean, I've been holding on to my stuff because I figured that's what it would be. So, I mean, it's going to you're still going to get your damage buff even if you shoot them with a gun. You don't have to use a grenade.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're talking,
that's true.
If I remember, I believe it's 20% at the high end for damage. It used to last 4 seconds on a grenade kill. Which, of course, it will probably be the Swashbuckler 2 seconds. Which is still not bad. And there are 3 weapons in Destiny that can roll with Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie.
Ooh, I have one.
Is it the MG from VOG?
I don't think so.
Okay, if it's not the MG from VOG, because the MG from VOG
dim up, so
can roll it. The hand cannon from Prophecy can roll that combo, and the auto rifle from Prophecy can roll that combo.
I think that's what I have. The auto rifle with Adrenaline
Last breath.
Demolitionist. Yep, I do.
Yeah. Definitely throw a counterbalance mod on that.
It's 86. It's not terrible.
Still, it's trust me.
When you
feel the higher,
it'll be
when
like
you feel the
100.
higher 90s, so much better.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And I got spoiled by better recoil direction. But yeah. I cannot wait for that to really try that combo out now, considering its change. Get a grenade kill and max stats. Like, I feel like that's what Adrenaline Junkie really needed. Because before, you needed to get, like, 3 or 5 freaking grenade kills to get max stats. Or to get the max stacks. Which, who's really thinking about throwing grenades that often in PvP? Right? And now think PvP, you actually get like that lucky grenade kill, and all of a sudden just like Swashbuckler. I mean, it kind of works like Rampage, but if you get that ability kill,
it's more.
instant high damage.
Yep. I'm looking forward.
So I'm definitely cool with the Adrenaline Junkie change. I feel like it kind of loses its identity, but it gives us an extra. Like, this is going to super benefit Warlocks. Because a lot of Warlock trees have grenade recharge loops. So it's going to really be a lot better for Warlocks than Swashbuckler will be.
Oh, Gatr,
Sorry?
that? He's going to have to listen to this again and go like, what the hell was Des talking about? I fell asleep.
Don't worry, I'll listen to it again when I'm editing it. I'll go, good point. Let me write that down. Hold on a sec.
He's like, he just wrote down the minute. He's like, 2 hours and this. There you go. Listen to this shit again.
All right, what else we got?
All right, mods. Quick access sling. The usage on this mod is very telling. It's extensively used on bows and breach grenade launchers. Big surprise.
Blenting.
And barely used at all on other weapons.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, we pulled down some options players had for improving their swap speed and wanted to make an option available for building towards that on all legendary weapons.
Yay!
So, with that, the functionality was changed. It was 100% handling and 0.9 ready, stow, aim down the sight speed for 0.4 seconds after running out of ammo. Now it's 0.9 ready, stow speed all the time.
Yep.
That is nasty.
And that's 8.9 multiplier.
Yeah. And then this change also applies to the swap mag perk, as they use the same perk behind the scenes.
Swap
what the hell
mag
is the
perk?
swap mag perk?
I think that was an old D2, like, that might be like an old Last Breath. Like, because I haven't seen that in forever.
Jeez.
I wanted to say that was on old Trials of the Nine weapons.
Go into my collections and
Like I said, like from Trials of the Nine, like the original Last Breath, because hilariously those when first released, like Last Breath they didn't have magazine perks, or they didn't have barrel perks. They had like 3 magazine perks, 2 perk options, and then a final perk. They're really weird.
yeah, I have no idea what the hell that one is. But hey, Bungie knows, so we'll trust them.
I know, right?
Yeah. Fully
It hasn't been
auto
around in
retrofit.
forever.
Yeah, exactly. Fully auto retrofit. So
Give it to me.
This is
So
awesome.
we've seen plenty of requests for an accessibility option allowing full auto fire, particularly on fast-firing semi-automatic weapons. We have a settings option in the works for a season after the Witch Queen launches, but decided to put in a stopgap to help players until we are able to ship it. Please keep these types of suggestions coming. So, added a full auto retrofit weapon mod that enables full auto while the trigger is held. Usable on legendary hand cannons, sidearms, scouts, and pulse rifles. This is unlocked by default for all players.
Nice.
Shit.
Yes.
Sidearms, here we come.
Immediately putting it on my P-Spawn and Grid Skipper. Immediately.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
I don't see
Yeah.
I don't see how it would work great for hand cannons though, because hand cannons are a cover shot shooting weapon. You shoot them once and get behind cover, shoot cover, shoot cover. That's kind of what those guns are made for. Not.
Yeah, but then you have 180s.
Well, they probably are going to work best for that, but for your 140s and your 150s, I don't know.
Well, it's not like it's going to work.
Or,
It's like putting full auto on a 120 or on
Yeah.
a 120 scout rifle.
exactly.
It's
Why?
not going to work. That
Or,
well.
or how about these full automatic on shotguns that are high impact shotguns? That's just such.
Now,
that's-
but wait, hold on a minute though, because full auto doesn't work the same with shotguns. Full auto actually can increase your RPM
Yes,
on a shotgun
slightly. Yes, you're true. You're right.
slightly.
But I'd rather just use it when I need to use it. Close range. But you can.
Because I have an old Scholar with full auto, and it's like, why? I don't get it. But when it comes to sidearms, pretty much all of them, and fast firing pulses,
I cannot wait.
I definitely want full auto on these things. So now that they're actually making a mod where I could just make them full auto,
Yeah. Scout rifles and sidearms for me. I like to actually time my shots with pulse rifles. I think I'm more accurate that way versus just spraying.
Oh,
Hazel-
shit. I just thought of the Jurassic Green with a full auto.
there you go.
Mm.
Like I said, Jurassic Green, Grid Skipper. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about best
Fast firing
TTK.
autos.
I mean,
Fast firing
I've been getting used to Vigilance Wing, which with Catalyst it has full auto.
Right.
So
Yeah. So that's nice.
Put this bad boy on my grid skipper, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Vigilance Wing on PC is just a terror.
I think this season's going to be like, maybe not this season, but like the first season in Witch Queen. I think it's going to be pretty telling for Gatr, like what he's going to do, because I don't know what these changes are going to do for him for PvP. You know, I think he's going to be like, fuck it all, I'm going to Battlefield.
Well, I'm already playing Battlefield. I started playing today. It's beautiful. Beautiful game.
Yeah?
Yes.
Any bugs?
No. This morning I played it. I played the port. I played Battlefield 3 this morning on the portal mode. Boy, I was nostalgic. No Sar Canals and Caspian Border. Oh, it was great. And then I played the regular, all out war one. Both very fun.
Oh my god.
They were a lot of fun. No hitches, no glitches. It was very smooth.
Nice.
Sorry, but Carpal Leader in the chat actually makes it an extremely good point. Messenger, Desperado,
oh no,
full auto.
Oh no,
I have that.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
I do too.
Oh,
I have a Zen Moment Desperado, not rapid hit. I know, but I still got Desperado.
That's gonna be nasty.
Put that full auto on it. Thank you for that idea.
You know what? I forget sometimes I even have it activated.
Moving target Desperado. That's another good.
Oh yeah.
That's another decent combo in my opinion.
Oh man, that's great.
Like Zen Moment and Moving Target are close seconds to Rapid Hit.
I guarantee you they're gonna nerf that shit later. I guarantee you they will. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, I mean, okay, I might be wrong here, but I remember like on the full auto weapons that it wasn't that there was a drawback to them where basically it like increased the.
Oh, this is the reason I don't like full auto pulse rifles, because your recoil starts to build.
Right. Yeah. It increases recoil. And I thought that I saw like a Fallout video. Now this might be like way back when, but he said something like you can actually fire faster, like just by tapping the trigger than you can for full auto.
I don't know about that. I think it's the opposite.
I did that testing in D1, and that was not true.
I think it's opposite. I think it's faster if you just hold it down. It's hard for the mind to time it.
I actually did several tests with 200 or MITA rate of fire scout rifles, MITA being my single, and I had a God, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was a good like MITA rate of fire scout rifle, but it came with full auto. And I did frame by frame testing, and there was no change in scout rifles to your rate of fire, whether using full auto or not. And I even tested, because I had a turbo fire controller at the time, I even tested turbo fire on semi-autos, just to see, and it also did not make any changes, primarily because rate of fire in Destiny is connected to frame rate. Or I guess was more major in D1, considering it was all 30 FPS. There's probably a new gimmick or quantifier for time or passage, but like I said, in the old system, it was all tied to frame rate. Yes, I recorded while I had an Elgato and went frame by frame, figuring out RPMs in guns in D1.
That's awesome.
No, it was awful.
Well, there was a bit of
it was painstaking. It was awful. But I had accurate RPM ratings.
All right. What else we got here?
Okay.
Let's see.
Last but not least, the near future. So with this, they're talking about just kind of like what's on the horizon. So with it, they mentioned in the last patch notes that they're not done with special ammo economy in PvP, and they have a further tweak coming that should help bring down the amount of ammo floating around.
Yeah, okay.
Exotic primary weapons already have advanced ammo finder mods, basically much faster. but we want them to feel better in hard PvE content, and we're adjusting all of them to reach this goal.
Nicer, nicer.
Yeah, exactly. And they are adjusting some exotics, and some that consistently top the PvP usage charts in an oppressive way.
TNT. Oh, excuse me.
No, chaperone.
You're such a... some that had their perks limited to a degree that are no longer warranted. That's an interesting one. And then they say, we're looking at you, chaperone. That should be fun. All right.
Don't touch
Chaperone.
Don't touch my
Chaperone has a cheesy kill range. If you're a warlock in an empowering rift with lunafaction boots, you can kill from nearly 20 meters away with chaperone without the perk active.
Don't tell everybody that.
Yeah, so
I mean,
let me get this
Ironworking Gaming already released a video on this combo. If you want to know the nitty gritty, definitely go check them out.
Great. Now,
do you guys hear this?
Now, Hazel's can definitely tell me warlocks have cheat codes.
Well, yeah, that's
probably because warlocks have cheat codes.
I've been saying that for a while now. So, but do you guys hear this? So he likes cheesy shotguns like Chaperone.
I didn't say
and
that.
Telesto.
No. Telesto takes skill to use now. It's not cheesy.
No, it doesn't.
You can't just spray people across the map anymore. You have to be accurate with it.
Excuse you?
I'm telling you.
How can you not spray people across the map?
The damage per bolt is so much less now. You have to hit a lot of bolts on someone to kill them with it now. Believe me, I still use it a little bit.
Oh yeah, with a minimal spray, and damage falls off that goes from the source of explosion, not from the source of the gun. Oh yes, how difficult it must be to be good with a Telesto.
I love going up against people who have
easy mode.
No, people who have Telestos who don't know how to use it correctly, and they'll just spray it like far away, and I'm like, maybe if a bolt gets me, it's not going to hurt me. People don't understand it's a burst weapon. You have to jump in front of someone, load them up, and jump away with it. That's how that needs to be used. Or
use a shotgun if you're getting close.
Or because it's more fun and pisses people off. But if you want ad control, you cannot beat Telesto, especially in like a VOG.
Or
oh god, don't or me, man. I love it.
Now, this is coming from the guy that doesn't want to use the tracking Nova Bomb because he wants to quote-unquote have skill with the other Nova Bomb.
Yeah, so it blows up and goes into
how did this turn to me?
Shatter ones.
Every time I throw a Nova, it goes past the boss. Believe me.
Yeah,
I've yet to hit a boss with a Nova Bomb.
That's why you use Cataclysm.
Yeah,
but I don't want to.
But Devour's really nice to use.
I have to
use
aim
skill weapons like Telesto and Chaperone.
Whatever. You know me. I do not use shotguns, and I've used Chaperone because I liked it. You know, I like Chaperone. It's not because of the range. It's because I love the sight on it. It's got a nice, big, giant, nice sight. Most other shotguns don't. It's just literally no sight at all. It's like just aim the big circle over somebody. I love you have to aim it.
Because it's a shotgun.
Yeah, no, because it's a slug shotgun. You have to be accurate using it.
Yeah, all slug shotguns have reticules.
Yes, and Joe Toon does take skill.
Oh
no!
Jesus God!
I've been killed by some people who really know how to use it well. Believe me, versus someone just throwing out, just winding it up and hoping.
Oh yeah, people that just barely have to aim in your general direction.
It's like every other. It's like every other exotic. It's like every other exotic. You just have to know how to perfect how to use it, and a lot of people think it's just a spray weapon.
You're the reason why I'm bald. It's people like you.
Why do we go down this rabbit hole again?
Jotun does not take any skill to use.
It does.
Chaperone does not take like a
no. Whoa.
Chaperone, you have to hit headshots.
Chaperone does have the requirement of needing to hit headshots.
Yes, you have to be accurate.
It does take a modicum of skill to use a slug.
It does.
Yeah.
It takes more skill to use a Chaperone than a Telesto and a Jotun.
Exactly.
Or a Fellwinter's Lie.
I'm going to say that. No.
What?
Because to be good with the Fellwinters, you have to be good with mobility.
Still got shot package.
Unless, again, you're talking about the generic people that just freaking
shot
run
package
towards you. And if you're dying to people that just beeline straight
then you
at
deserve
you,
to die.
You need to be more aware anyway.
Those are the push forward players. I love those. Anyway,
yeah, they're fantastic.
Anyway, I know we got some lore to talk about, and I don't want to go 5 hours tonight. So, anything?
Yeah, there is some other important things here that they mentioned coming up.
Go for it.
So, with this here, we don't like the desire for exotic catalyst. Basically, is largely driven by the orb generation, and yeah, exactly, and have something in the works for that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And
Fantastic.
the big one here is weapon differentiation.
I don't understand this.
So if I have two void adaptive hand cannons, one from the Suros Foundry and one from the latest raid, why do I care about one more than the other? The stats tend to be fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
Perk pools can be different, but there are so many perks. And it's a stretch to say that the perk pool gives the weapon its identity. We've got something shipping on all new and reissued weapons in the Witch Queen that addresses this issue directly. And we are working to expand the same solution to all weapons that drop in the future.
Well, that just cries weapon crafting. They're gonna give weapons personalities. I love it.
They're going to talk to you.
They will. Like Gatr, go get Hazel.
I mean, Darcy already does.
That's right. It does. It does.
I mean,
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, but
So,
no, I mean
it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I had to read it twice, but when I did, I was like, okay.
The exact how they handle this is going to be extraordinarily interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's so vague. It's like, what the crap are you doing?
Well, that keeps the suspense. People are going, oh,
I know,
what does
still.
that mean? I wonder.
And it's the suspense that kills me.
Mm-hmm.
That I do not appreciate.
How many days are left in this season? Jesus.
I
Too
have
many.
no idea. I just work here.
Wait, you work here?
Working,
I show up.
parentheses. Yeah.
You know.
Air quote. Work.
Mhm.
Hey, I had a busy day at work yesterday. It was a holiday. I made 2 builds. So I made a PvP build and a PvE build for my Hunter and the same for my Titan. I had a busy day at work.
I can't look at you right now.
Yeah. All right.
Let's not go into comparing days at work.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
not.
it was a holiday and I work for a bank. Come on now. All right. Aside from that, shit's broken. Movies, art, cat. There you go.
I found it. Yeah, it was an easy one to find this week. So, all right. Well, thanks,
Yes.
Hazel. Appreciate it, man. Another TWAB wrapped up for the week, and
Whoop.
we have a little something special for you guys, and we're going to do it right after this. Hey, everyone. Looking for some like-minded gamers to Destiny with?
Or maybe just a place to de-stress and talk about life with others for a bit.
Or maybe just a place to discuss the latest movies, the TV shows, new awesome music out there.
What about New Year's resolutions or goals or our fitness section?
Well, you're also forgetting about our channels with links to our clan, Speakpipe, our show music playlist for God's sake, or even where to get a show t-shirt, mouse pad, or coffee mug if you want to help support us.
Wow, you're not just a Bungie shill, you're a Guardian Downcast shill, huh? So, man, you must be forgetting also about the podcast questions channel, where listeners can put in their own questions for us.
And Hazel, our show feedback channel, where listeners can talk about our past podcast. And our...
Stop. This shameless plug has gone on long enough. I'm going to put a fork in it. Everybody, just go to the GDC Discord community link in our weekly show notes, where you can see the invite there. Just visit us at guardiandowncast.com. That invite link there will never expire, so just go there too.
And later, Guardian.
Oh my god, just stop.
What? What did I do?
You're so excited.
I'm excited, man. What,
Just bring it. Just bring it down.
All right, whatever, man. Okay, jeez.
Lay off the coffee.
What a downer. Okay, so since we had Mr. DeSRaven here tonight, I figured, you know what?
Whoop.
We were trying to figure out what we can do surrounding the lore. And me and Hazel put our heads together and said, you know what? Let's do this. Each of us has 3 top questions that we want to ask DeSRaven and see how he explains it or if he can shed some light on it. And I have my 3, Hazel. I think you have your 3 in the notes here. And here, we'll make it interesting. I'm going to have a countdown timer for 5 minutes. Des will have 5 minutes to explain each of these questions best of his ability. And we'll just see how he does. So I'm going to get my little timer here. There we go. 5 minutes. And, if you do it in less than 5 minutes, even better. My questions probably won't take very long. But we'll see. We'll see.
They won't. I could answer your damn question.
Whatever. I'm asking the expert here, okay? All right, so Lo, I'm going to start with mine. I'm going to start with my first question. It's a softball. Here we go. Start the timer. What importance was or is the speaker in Destiny? And who do you speculate will be the new speaker if it happens?
All right, so the importance of the speaker in Destiny was the fact that he was part of a long line of quote-unquote speakers. Speakers in Destiny lore are people... they were called speakers because they were given visions and dreams. They were able to basically connect to the Traveler. They were able to experience visions from the Traveler. One thing the lore says is the fact that they can experience these visions pretty much at any time.
Okay.
I believe, because if you go into the lore book Constellations, it does go back through previous speakers. And I believe it was the 5th or 6th speaker that couldn't quite connect to the Traveler like the others, so he ended up making a mask. Our speaker, the last speaker, ended up becoming in possession of this mask. As far as we know, the speaker did not die. He was a living being throughout the entirety of his tenure. His importance was basically a religious figure. He was preaching the good word of the Traveler. And he was a good enough leader and speaker that he was able to find his way into either favorable, trusted, or leading positions, much like when he came to the last city, which also of note, our speaker was able to guide Geppetto to raise Saint 14. So Saint 14 is to the last city thanks to the speaker. Okay. Which also could be Saint 14's entire gimmick behind calling the speaker father. So, he was basically just a good enough talker and a good enough leader to find himself in a position that would end up leading the Guardians. Even pre-Vanguard, really. And I think the formation of the Vanguard entirely was his idea after the Siva crisis when all of the Iron Lords died.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So yes, the speaker was basically just, they were connections to the Traveler. And of course for the last city being directly under the Traveler, it's a very important aspect.
Okay.
But outside of visions from the Traveler and the connection of the Traveler, that's basically, I guess, the primary importance of a speaker rather than the speaker. And hilariously, as far as future speakers go, we already have a character in Destiny right now that is experiencing strange visions at any time.
What?
Yes. Right now, we have a person that fits this description that somehow has a connection and is experiencing visions even while awake. And that is none other than the Crow.
Oh, no.
The entirety of the Hawkmoon mission is the Crow's vision.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh,
so if there's going to be a next speaker figure, my money is on Crow.
Okay. Wow, you did that in 3.5 minutes. Well done, sir.
Well, thankfully, like you said,
That was a softball.
in the Guardian Down Lore channel, that
Yes.
was very recent research. So.
Yeah, that's why I threw it out there, because it was a good back and forth in our lore channel about that. So, all right, good job, Hazel.
Interesting.
Go with one of
Okay.
yours.
Okay. So, all right. Now, this might take some backstory just at first here. But so I'm going to add a little bit to this first one here. So,
Okay.
who is Sir Ido? And why isn't she dead also? And then why is the overwhelming consensus that she might be coming back?
All right. Sir Ido
Sure.
was the first Queen's Wrath for Marasov. She actually was someone else's warrior while in the distributary, but Marasov was able to gain her trust and such, and actually became something of a confidant to Mara, to the effect that whenever they came here and founded the Reef, she became the first Queen's Wrath. So she was the first agent of the Queen. So very high figure. Yes, Sir Ido is 100% dead. I mean, we get her bow from a statue. She did.
Okay.
But in her own lore, she was experiencing visions of Crow, of Mara, fighting something in a pyramid ship. And she was experiencing visions of her, post-death, coming back. Which is why the overwhelming consensus that she will return, because she already foresaw it potentially.
Oh.
Well,
And that's kind of it for that, actually.
good answer. Good answer. Well done. Well done. Okay.
Yeah, that consensus is because the lore said so.
Okay. All right. Probably another softball question, but it can get deep. My second question is, what do you anticipate Marasov's role will be in the next expansion, if any?
Honestly, I'm predicting potentially next to nothing. Her entire gimmick is to free Savathun of her worm.
So that's her
because
role.
she has a vendetta against the darkness right now. Like everything, like she's starting to get a singular focus. Which, to be fair, even in Forsaken, whenever we were getting the Truth to Power, I believe, lore, she was basically acting in a way to stop the pyramid ships. So she has a vendetta against the darkness. I don't know if post-risen Savathun will be a target for her anymore, or to be of her interest anymore. Because it's up to, the bad thing is they write Mara in such a perfect way that it's very hard to tell what her actual goal is. So I'm not expecting much from Mara in the future.
But wasn't she working with the Hive Lady? This is terrible.
Hive Lady?
This is terrible.
Eris?
No.
Eris?
Eris Morn. Wasn't she working with Eris Morn? Weren't they working together?
Yes, Eris Morn was helping Marasov, because Marasov was the first person to see Eris Morn and not see a disfigured mess. So she earned Eris's trust. So even though Eris works directly under Ikora as one of her hidden agents...
Really?
She does... Yes. Eris is actually still directly under Ikora. She is actually one of the hidden agents that we rarely hear about in Destiny.
Okay.
She is one of Ikora's, like, Black Ops agents, basically.
Oh, shit.
Did
not know
but
that.
she does work with and help Marasov as well, because Eris has loyalty to Marasov. Even going as far as labeling her my queen.
Right. Okay. All right. Good answer. I agree. I think Marasov's going to kind of fade off into the distance. I think this is her story. This is her time this last season. And I think she'll fade away as well.
I mean, good lord, last time she had any kind of story prevalence was indeed Forsaken.
Dreaming City. Yep. Exactly.
So it might be another year before anything ever happens with Mara again.
They'll just put her on the bookshelf, take her out when they need to.
Right.
All right, Hazel.
Whenever they need the Sims to pay for something.
Well, I got to admit, Dez is impressing me so far. He's on the spot on these answers. All right. Let's see what
pull up your pants.
I don't wear pants.
That's why I'm saying it. He's impressed.
Oh my God. Just ignore that, listeners. Just ignore that, please. I'm going to edit that out. You know I am.
Oh, God.
All right.
Why?
Go. What's your second?
Why would you edit that out?
We'll just move along. What's your... All right. I might leave it in. What's your second question, Hazel? Jesus.
Okay. So, has Callus merged with the entity? What the fuck is the entity? And back in vanilla, Callus said he wanted to show us like the true extent of our power. Is this because he just wanted us to become a shadow?
We had this conversation on Spinful Theory podcast.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm curious what he has to say.
Interesting. But anywho, all right, let me answer this a little bit backwards. Because yes, back in vanilla, Callus said he wanted to draw out the full extent of our power. Because yes, he was 100% looking for guardian shadows. Because Callus always tried to find like the best of the best of a race or of a group of people and invite them to be his shadow. His operatives, his units, he's had shadows from various races, but yes, the Leviathan, even though a lot of complaints back in the day was the fact that it felt like a game show, it was 100% a game show to find worthy shadows. Callus wanted guardian shadows. He wanted light bearers as shadows. Because warriors or whatever. As far as what the entity is, I have a differing view, potentially, of a lot of lore people on what the entity is. Because I don't think that the entity is separate from the winnower itself, which is the core of the darkness. Because the way that this voice in the darkness speaks to people, and the way that it encountered Callus, is 100% typical to how the winnower contacted us back in Shadowkeep. Because notice it would talk through our ghost. It took our form to speak to us. And when you read the Book of Sorrows, Oryx drew the darkness into an ogre for it to speak to him. So the winnower always, like the darkness always speaks to us through things. It, as far as I know, has not directly spoken to anyone at any point in time. So I don't believe the entity is any separate from the core of the darkness. I just believe it is another name for the winnower.
Okay.
And as far as has Callus merged with the entity, no. I don't think Callus has at all merged. Well, not merged. Could he be empowered by the entity or empowered by some other aspect of the darkness? Potentially. Because there is always the mystery from the Glycon, from the Press's mission, that he just up and vanished. He was physically present on the Glycon.
Right.
While they were doing experiments on the Scorn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's something happened to him particularly. But I don't think he's merged with anything, because that would require a level of connection and access to the darkness that not even the worm gods or Oryx himself had. So I just don't think that's a possibility. I could entirely be proven wrong, but that's just my take on it.
Okay. Carpal Leader 347 mentioned in the chat here. He goes, "Doesn't the darkness speak to the ghost?" I ask whose ghost. He goes, "Our ghost."
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. During Shadowkeep, the darkness hijacks our ghost to speak to us.
That's right at the end. Or it was at the end? Yeah.
Yeah, as we're boarding the pyramid ship,
Right. God,
it talks to us through Ghost.
I still don't understand that cutscene. We had a duplicate of ourselves.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I don't believe this entity or voice in the darkness that Mara mentioned is anything separate from the Winnower. Now, I haven't seen, because Mylon, of course, has a video out about Callus merged with the entity. I haven't seen that, but I have seen his entity video, which even he himself figures that if the entity isn't the Winnower itself, it is almost on par with the Winnower.
Okay.
Like, it is just a half a step below him. And I just don't think Callus has that capability to merge with a being that powerful in the darkness. If he did, props. Like, if he found a way, massive props. And I can't wait to see what form he takes.
Okay. My last question. Ikora Ray, it's kind of been quiet for her lately. Is she going to be phased out? We just haven't heard much from her. Does she have a part to play still, or is she just a placeholder?
Well, I do believe in the teasers she does have at least a detective part to play with tying pieces together. But you're not going to like me for this. But my prevalent theory is she's dead.
She's going to be the one who dies?
I think so.
Whoa. I was thinking somebody else.
I think so. I think it's going to be Ikora, personally.
Well, I'm glad I asked that question. I thought that was a shot in the dark, but damn, really? That's dark. That is dark, man.
It will be. And it's going to put Zavala... The only reason I think this is going to put Zavala into almost the exact same position he was in the dark future.
Yeah.
I think Witch Queen is going to get us so close to the dark future, it's going to be scary.
Damn it, Hazel.
What?
Hazel wants the damn tower to just burn. And Carpal Leader
did burn.
And Carpal Leader mentions it in chat. He goes, if Ikora dies, the tower will go to hell. I agree. It will.
Yeah, it will. The Vanguard will shatter. This will... I mean, look at Zavala. Zavala, when Cade died, retreated.
Yeah.
He withdrew.
It's true.
Which isn't 100% Zavala. Zavala will go after a threat if it's deemed worthy, but after Cade died, he just wanted to protect anything he could.
Right.
If he loses Ikora... I mean, in the dark future, the loss of Ikora made him lose his faith in the light. So if he follows a similar path, the tower is going to go to crap. But I also predict that the Vanguard is basically going to dissolve.
Jeez.
And we're going to have to rely on figures like Saint 14. We're going to have to rely on figures like the Crow to lead us going forward.
God help us. Well, there you go, Hazel.
Well,
hope your wish comes true. Jeez.
What?
And exactly like Carpal says, if we get close to the dark future, it does explain Lightfall. I mean, this is my shot in the dark prediction. I do believe it's going to be Ikora to die.
Oh man, that's a bummer. Now, Lightfall would be the next major release after Witch Queen, correct? That's that's a little extra piece they're adding at the end. Yeah.
No, that's the final shape.
Final shape.
That's the final shape.
Right.
The final shape is the end of the Light and Dark saga.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
It would have been Lightfall, but they decided they needed one more.
Wow. That's a bummer.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see Ikora dying. I see it actually probably being Zavala.
Zavala? I thought it was...
Just to change it up so it's a different enough.
Potentially. But I still feel that Zavala is the easier writing material.
Yeah.
With his crises. Ikora's crisis was a little more internal than Zavala's. So I think Zavala would actually be the more interesting character to break down, personally.
I think so too. I mean, especially with the dark future being out there. That's...
Yeah. I mean, good lord, he grew a beard. Doesn't everyone want to see bearded Zavala? I do.
Yeah. Don't you fucking start. You don't use that F word much.
Okay, so my question
is,
so there's a theory on the interwebs that the emissary is really Savathun.
Oh yeah,
or vice versa. So, because the eyes are basically pretty much the same.
Yeah. And
All right, so
we were running the prophecy dungeon last night, and you said, "Look at her eyes."
Mhm.
There's something you notice about her. I'm like, "Yeah."
okay. So to clarify, you're speaking about the emissary of the Nine.
Yes.
Mhm, right, exactly.
Miss-
The end of the
Miss
prophecy.
Blueskin.
The end of the prophecy
Mhm.
dungeon, right?
I don't know how this theory is prevalent. I really don't. There's an entire story about the emissary. The emissary wasn't awoken from the distributary that came over. She was too curious, apparently, and went to Earth, thus taking a self-exile. Ended up dying on Earth, where she was then risen by a ghost. But she still had that curiosity, and she ended up going back to the reef. Now, this person, Oren was her name,
Right.
was actually a close confidant to Mara. So when she came back to the reef, Mara had her tossed in jail. But she would actually come and speak to Oren on occasion. Almost kind of like how she treats Uldren now, or Crow now. How she kind of wants him to be Uldren again, is kind of how she was acting towards Oren.
And I
so-
remember that passage from Season of the Drifter.
Yeah.
That cutscene.
So the fact that she was let go out of the prison, she kept doing her wanderings until she ran across the Nine. Now the Nine reached in, did stuff to her, and suddenly she remembered things. And so the emissary is actually the kind of the go, which hilariously now the emissary again is the go-between for Mara and the Nine. So no matter what, Oren is not escaping her interactions with Mara, or Mara is not escaping her interactions with her. But that's why I don't see how, personally, the emissary can be Savathun. Because this is a distributary awoken. She would legitimately have to be in two places at once. And as powerful as she is, hasn't actually accomplished that yet. So
Okay.
I don't know how this theory arisen, other than someone took a look at her eyes and did not read any lore whatsoever about the emissary. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, the eyes." It's like, okay, she has weird eyes.
Yeah.
She also has blue skin.
I remember exactly that cutscene. That was a weekly cutscene with the Season of the Drifter. That was a great story. I remember that story now. Yeah.
So what's-
yeah.
So I mean,
So what you're saying is that Bungie reused the assets.
oh wow, shocker.
Mm, probably.
Spending
Probably.
potentially 10 minutes to repurpose an asset rather than 20 hours, forcing artists potentially into overtime and unsafe working conditions. Not everything.
Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to Laz for help with some questions. So
Oh, you cheated.
Laz,
You cheated.
That tricky devil.
I'm giving
nice
these.
try, though, Laz.
I was trying to trip him up just because. I mean, you told me to, Gatr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
Actually, and I myself even warranted the heat. So
Well, hey. Well done, sir.
also good to hear from you, Laz. I should have known it was Laz from Sierra Ido.
I was trying to figure out how Hazel came up with these intricate questions. I know he's dipping into lore, but my God, yeah. I know we did talk about the entity on the Spinful Theory podcast, but I figured he got that one from that one, but those other two, I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Well, hey, good job. Good job, Des. Good job, man. Like I said, if you guys like to hear Dez's lore readings, you guys do that from time to time on your the Guardian
Yes.
Hub podcast, don't you?
On occasion. We're definitely trying to express interest to create
Like a
some more
segment?
lore-based topics
Good.
that people want to know about. And because, like you said, one of the biggest roadblocks to even starting the lore is not knowing where to start.
That's my problem.
So what was it? Not this episode, potentially last episode, we covered a bit about Fellwinter.
Mm-hmm.
At least And the whole goal when I cover lore is to at least give you some basics of these figures. That way, maybe you have an idea of who or what they were, why they were important. So that way, if you do decide to go read the lore,
Right.
you might have a slightly better, compass to be able to gauge like when and where this is happening.
Yeah, I always enjoy when you guys do the lore on the show. So keep it up, man. I love the lore segments on it. Yeah.
Like I said, once we get topics, I will definitely cover them because, I freaking love this lore, and good lord, I live in the lore channels between our discords.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, the lore channels are the only channels that notify my phone when any message pops up.
Unless
every other
I'm
channel,
talking Crucible or something.
No, I'm saying like every other channel.
Yeah, I get you.
In order to notify me, you have to tag me or tag everyone or tag here.
Right.
Or tag a role.
Gotcha.
But lore, as soon as someone says anything, I'm notified.
Well done,
It's like the
Des.
bat signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll see a lore channel pop up. It's like, ooh, what are they talking about?
Well, hopefully that appealed back at least a few layers for our listeners. So thank you for doing that, man. I didn't mean to put you under a clock. I was just trying to regulate the time, but
oh no, you said 5 minutes, and I looked through all of them. It's like none of these are going to take 5 minutes.
Yeah, I could do it.
I mean,
I'm good.
To be fair, Hazel had the harder balls.
Yeah, I know. That's all right.
Giggity.
Tell me about it.
But there still weren't very long answers for me. So.
Wow. In other words, Hazel, you need to bring it next time, man. What the hell?
I had harder balls.
You did.
What about your balls?
Hey, I had the one about Ikora. That was insightful.
Your balls were soft.
Well, I'm old. What are you going to do? All right. Enough of that. Hey, my favorite segment's coming up. I'm sure the chat's going to just love this next segment. It's our community questions, and we're going to do it right after this.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way, and you can just lurk or hang out or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at guardian_d_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
Speakpipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. This is where we answer our questions from our community. And man, as always, we are just been flooded with great questions. I love it. I love having this problem, Hazel. I really do. Every week. So let's go ahead, Hazel. Why don't you pick one first? Well, I guess we got some for Des here first, I believe.
All right. Sorry, I was in chat there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What?
Nothing.
What? Sin asked, how did you do on the speedrun? And I typed in the answer, and then I quickly had to delete it.
All right.
No, I'll go ahead and spoil it. No. Sin gets an extra speed run, but Raven doesn't get an extra speed run. No, I can't get extra speed. I can't win.
How did Sin get an extra
rigged.
speed run?
No, I'm kidding. I'm actually kidding. Entirely.
He actually
tried to get one.
He tried to get one, and he says, I already did it. I'm like, you did? I forgot. We did the speed run for all 3 of you guys last time.
That's funny. But yeah,
Okay.
no, kidding.
All right.
Definitely.
We got some good ones here. Let's get it rolling.
Okay.
Yep.
The first question for our beloved guest here. Will you upstage ARF by Oryx Miser of Thank? That's Joker.
How am I going to upstage someone? Confused.
Yeah. Why would you
I mean,
want
I
to?
know Arf is the lore guy, but at the same time, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't personally. I don't know. I look at things way differently. It's not like I. Okay, I'm going to change this question topic entirely. Because all right, I know it's the joke that I know more, or like I've forgotten more lore than most people forgot or even learned. Which is entirely due to my horrible memory rather than any type of brag. There's a reason I have to reread the lore multiple times because I tend to forget a lot of things. But no, I legitimately don't attempt to upstage anyone. I've been told before, it's like, this might be a dense question. It's like, there's no dense questions when it comes to this lore. I mean, it's more of a collaborative effort, because there's plenty of times, even if the idea is off base, it might give me a different idea or a different way to think of things. So yeah, upstaging isn't really my goal. And I hope I didn't upstage anybody, because, like I said, it's totally not why I do what I learn. I learn what I learn because I'm crazy and weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. You upstaged me because you're crazy and weird.
And you know what? We haven't heard from Arf lately. 2 times and 100. Get on that. Let's go. Okay, I got one here from Red Grackle. Question for DeSRaven. This came up during a prophecy run last night. What's the deal with the 9? Are they supposed to be the world minds of the planets or of the solar system or something? How powerful are they compared to other entities we're familiar with? And is the giant bust you encounter at the end secretly Savathun, Hazel's idea? Can't make heads or tails of them, so any info is appreciated. Thanks, Red.
Are you ready to dive into the weird stuff?
Oh, boy.
Because from that question, you're ready to dive into the weird stuff.
I didn't ask the question. Red Grackle asked that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're ready to dive into the weird stuff. You're ready to dive into the most sci-fi thing in Destiny lore. What are the 9? The 9 are dark energy. I'm gonna let that simmer for a hot second.
Now,
because yes, for those in in any kind of space sciences that you know about dark matter and dark matter/dark energy is the stuff that makes up most of the universe. It is not detectable by normal means, but it explains why the gravity works the way it does on a larger scale. It's what keeps solar systems together. It's what keeps galaxies held together. It's what allows gravity to do that. Is dark matter/dark energy, depending upon the theory. So, now that I've explained, in a very, very short and layman's term, what dark matter and energy is, the 9 are dark energy. They are dark energy that has looped across from outer solar system, through planets, back out, back to planet, back out, and they've looped so many times that this dark energy has gained consciousness.
what?
Yes, this consciousness is the 9.
Wow. Mind blowing.
Because we have 9 major planetoid figures in our solar system.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I said planetoid.
Oh, boy.
No, I was laughing at something Carpal said.
Oh, God. I don't even want to look.
Sounds like Telesto.
Fair enough. No, Telesto is Harbinger, probably, which is the stuff that Marasov sent to Oryx during the Taken King. Anyway, that's my theory anyway. But no, so yes, so the 9 gained sentience, but considering their dark energy, the only way they interact with the normal world is through gravity. They are kind of literally, yes, the minds of the planets. Because of the way that the dark energy is laced with the planets, if the planets were to be destroyed, the 9 cease to exist.
Wow.
Their consciousness will go away, which is why the 9 was trying to use Ahamkara and their powers and their paracausal capabilities in order to free themselves of those anchors.
Jeez.
So as far as how powerful they are, they really aren't.
They're just kind of an anomaly.
I would say at best they might equal Zol, the weakest of the worm gods, at best. Because they still have no paracausal capabilities of their own. Now, they're kind of like the Vex in the way they do understand, like, the solar system differently. So prophecy, and they can see things beyond, like, in the box in a better scale than we can because of their understanding. But yes, as far as what the 9 are, yes, they're essentially minds attached to planets. And
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and as far as power, not very, because again, they have no paracausal capabilities on their own, so they are in no way.
Non-factor.
But yes, apparently, one of the 9 was actually responsible for the Red Legion to sneak in and attack and take over. But that one of the 9 was actually punished because one of Gull's first plans was to take out the sun and blow up the solar system, which would have been bad for them all. There are certain members of the 9 missing now because planets have vanished.
That's right. They have. Oh, man.
So, yeah. Like I said, the 9 are the most sci-fi aspect of Destiny lore.
I'm learning so much tonight.
Yeah.
That was actually a question that Mr. Monkey asked. So that was fantastic that you tied that in there.
Well, speaking of that, he had a question. What's your favorite standalone lore tied to a gun or armor? Mine's Luna's Howl.
Oh, my favorite standalone lore. Jeez. It's kind of hard to say. Because I'm drawing so many blanks right now. Okay, well, one of my first loves in lore, as far as like lore attachment with a standalone gun, it didn't even have lore, it just had a tagline. That was Shadow Price. Because Shadow Price is the first weapon that was associated with Tolan the Shattered. It was his gun before Bad Juju. So like I said, it was a time before lore, but it's one of the reasons I do love Shadow Price. Because it had deeper connections in a time where weapon connections were kind of rare. So yeah.
Okay. I think there's one more for Des, Hazel.
Okay. Actually, he has a couple. Damn it. So, this one here is Crash Dog 99. I like this one.
Hello, Crash.
So, question for Des. Now, I don't know what he's trying to say here.
I think that was supposed to be you just got explaining.
Okay. So, you just got done explaining the new raid to you both. The raid wipes due to someone not paying attention.
Oh, Lord.
Who is it? Gatr, Hazel, Kingsley, or Sin, or yourself? Because no one listened to your explanation.
9 times out of 10, Sin.
Thank you. I dodged a bullet.
Probably 7 or 6 times out of 10, maybe Gatr. Maybe. I haven't raided often with Gatr, so I can't really compare. I've heard things, but that's not first-hand information.
Heard things.
Well, I've heard things.
Kingsley,
say that.
Tattletale.
Because I have a story.
Oh,
God.
Come on, man.
So last night. What?
No, go ahead.
So last night, we were doing the GM.
Grandmaster. Yep.
Yep, the Grandmaster. And we were just talking, so it was Gatr, myself, and
Zan.
Zan
X-A-N-N. Yep.
Yeah. And so Zan just says, "Hey, I think we need to coordinate more." And Gator's like, "Leroy Jenkins!" and fucking just jumps in.
I might have done that. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I might have Yeah, I might have just said hell with it. Let's go for it.
And yeah, also, again, it's basically that person out of those choices is mostly going to be Sin, except for my experiences. Because I have raided with Hazel, who has guided me through Leviathan, or at least the underbelly.
He is very good at that.
I mean, it's how I remembered Hazel. Was hilariously because the phrase "follow Hazel" stuck in my head so much that when I raided with him again, saw that gamer tag, it's like, oh hey, follow Hazel. And then Kingsley, I've taught raids, or I've kind of helped finish showing things in raids. He's taught me things in raids, so there's usually not a lot of miscommunication there either. But like I said, out of that pool of options, it's Sin.
Sin usually is multitasking, it seems, when we're raiding. It seems like he's talking to his stream. He's doing
editing a podcast.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of different things. Yeah.
Dropping his bubble right in front of your weapon fire. Thanks, Sin.
That's awesome. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Still love you, Sin.
All right. Gatr.
Is that all of them for Des? Let's see.
I think there's one more.
Is there one more?
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Oh, God.
All right. Elmer Fudd. Question for Des.
Ooh.
Will you impregnate me? Okay, thanks, bye.
Wait, didn't I do that already?
Oh. Too much information.
He's not wearing pants.
Oh, no. No. All right, I get another question.
Still love you, Fudd.
Apparently you do.
Now, I do have to explain. Me and Fudd have a very particular communication with one another that tends to get very weird very quickly in that manner, let's say. So, yeah. Love you, Fudd.
Awesome.
All right, I've got one here from Chubby Wizard. Question for the show. Is Crow the only Guardian we know of that was brought back so soon after their initial death? I thought most Guardians were brought back long after most people they knew were dead. If he is the only Guardian brought back so soon, why do you think this happened? Thanks. Love the show. Thanks, Chubby Wizard.
No, actually. He was not the only Guardian brought back this soon. I believe Shinobu has him beat, and I think it's Shinobu.
Really?
I'm not 100% certain about the name association, but there was a person in a village that was being protected by Guardians, I believe. They died, and before they even returned to the village, they got rezzed by a ghost. So, wanted to say it was Shinobu, but yeah, Shinobu kind of figured out who she was because it hadn't even been a day that she died and came back to the village as a guardian. So there are examples of quick rezzes. No, it doesn't happen super, super often. It's basically, and also the fact that Pulled Pork, aka Glint, which I thought was a different ghost before. I thought he was part of Micah's Den of Ghosts. But that actually wasn't true. Pulled Pork is actually, it's a miracle he even found Crow that fast. Let me say that, okay? Because in the lore, Pulled Pork, aka Glint, was scanning sheets of plastic for his guardian. Not kidding. He was so thorough in his search, he was scanning these impossibly small spaces for his guardian.
Wow.
So it's a miracle Glint found Crow that quickly. But it's not entirely unheard of, no. It's just kind of random and right time, right place.
Okay.
I mean, that, and look at Orin. She was relatively quick as well.
Uh-huh.
And not
That's right.
super, super quick, but, I mean, and most Awoken are basically not dead for near as long as any baseline human could be dead for. So yeah.
Okay. All right, Hazel. Get a few more here.
Ooh, which means Shax is a human. I just realized. Shax is a human
He's awoken, right?
because he was a warlord.
Oh,
No.
oh, Shax. I'm
He was
sorry.
yeah. Because Shax was a warlord, but the Awoken came back into our space, normal space, when the warlords were a thing. So there are no Awoken warlords. So yeah, Shax has to be human, considering Shax isn't an exo. So that's curious.
Interesting.
Sorry, just came to that connection actually.
Hey, you're welcome.
Isn't that
A
right?
lot of people, I'm guessing. Hey, I just realized, like, I think at the beginning of this season that Saint 14 was an exo. I thought his name was actually like fucking Saint 14. I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so this is a throwback to one of our other topics that we talked about tonight. It's from Golden God. Question for the show. Who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Favorite Spider-Man? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I find aspects of all three of the major actors that have portrayed Spider-Man in the past 20 years very endearing, but I will say top Andrew Garfield is my third, right? He's kind of bottom. But as far as the top two, it is a hard fight between Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland. I will say that much.
See, when I really liked watching the Spider-Man movies, it was always Tobey Maguire. He just seemed to fit the bill.
He does. I mean, he does fit the bill as like a nerdy and smart Peter Parker.
Exactly.
My nitpick with Tom Holland is the fact that he kind of needs Tony's tech to be smart, but the fact that he can figure out the tech itself does give him some degree of smarts, but I don't know, for some reason, Tobey's seems to be the smarter of the Spider-Man. And that's always been like one of his traits in the comics.
Tom Holland just wasn't believable to me. I don't know what it was. I guess just because I was so used to Tobey Maguire playing that role.
Yes, that is true. Andrew Garfield definitely had the wisecracking, like smart aleck attitude of definitely an era of Peter Parker, like down to a T for sure. But again, it's still a toss up between Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire. In fact, honestly, it's probably Tobey Maguire on top. But that's just me.
My issue with Tobey Maguire is the fact that he looked like he was 40.
What? No.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that at all.
I didn't get that.
He did. He looked like he was like old as shit.
All right.
I'm talking about in like 2 and 3.
So what's your favorite?
I don't know.
Which one's your favorite, Hazel?
I mean, definitely Garfield third, so I'm guessing Tom Holland would have to be first.
Yeah, I just can't believe
I mean,
it just doesn't fit.
That's fair.
But Gatr, you're not.
I know I'm old. Never mind.
But
Thanks for thanks for trying to be nice. How you were going to phrase that? Thank you for that.
I will say my favorite Spider-Man moment, as far as the movies go, still actually belongs to Andrew Garfield in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because the fact that Amazing Spider-Man 2, spoiler if you haven't seen it, but the fact that they focused on the night that Gwen Stacy died as like a centerpiece to that movie was just a super powerful moment. Like, I mean, because it was a huge moment in Marvel Comics. Like, the night that Gwen Stacy died was actually named because it was a turning point for the entirety of Marvel Comics, where everything started to get a little darker and a little realer. Because much like in Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter tries to save Gwen Stacy, but the web actually kind of breaks her neck. So Peter is responsible for her death. So the fact that they made that the centerpiece of Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I feel like a lot of people don't like it because it doesn't have like villain resolution and it leaves like such an open window. But the fact that they just encapsulated that important moment in Marvel Comics, I mean, it's always going to be like my favorite moment. Back, neck, one of those things. Either way, it was lethal.
He's broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was actually a rule in Marvel Comics to this day that it was kind of a rule, but there's no any character can be brought back to life except for Gwen Stacy. They've wiggled around it in modern times by having an alternate timeline Gwen Stacy, but mainline prime timeline Marvel Comics, Gwen Stacy cannot be brought back to life. Despite the shenanigans Marvel Comics will play with anybody else. Jean Grey died like 5 times and came back. But no, Gwen Stacy has to stay dead because of her importance. So yeah. Fun times.
All right, I'm going to pull one out of our legacy podcast question list here. This is from Sneaky Snake. Question for the show. Sneaky Snake. Question for the show. How long do you guys think your podcast will keep going for? Will there ever be a point where you think there will be no more content to talk about? I guess that applies to all of it. That applies to all of us, yeah.
And I hate to break it to you, but this is the last episode of Guardian Downcast. It's been a great run, guys. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Gatr signed the contract.
Have you been talking to Sin? What? I told you my guys had to look at it. I tried to stall.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Hazel. I forgot to tell you, man. I mean, my answer is, Destiny has already said they're going to go for another 3 years, right? So I would say at least 3 more years, unless Hazel gets tired and just says I'm out. Then that'll probably be the end of it. But as long as we're having fun every week, just talking with everyone and with the community or content creators, I don't have any plans to change anything at all. Hazel?
So, that's my answer too. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I'm definitely a third, personally for TG. I mean, come on. I went the run of a podcast, left the internet, came back, and joined another podcast.
You're hooked.
So, I mean, I'm here. I figured by now, honestly, I might get bored with Destiny and maybe not talk about it so much. Guess what? Here I am.
One quick question. I went on a fishing trip this summer with a lot of my IRL buds. In other words, all 50-somethings. And he wanted to know what fish that was I caught when I was showing the pictures. Just a quick answer. We caught a bunch of red snapper. They're like mosquitoes out there. They're protected, so we can't keep them. We have to throw them back in. We get a good quick photo, and then we throw it right back in the water. Now, does it survive on the way down with all the sharks? Can't tell you, but that was the fish that we caught the most of that day. But we also had a giant grouper. Big, giant gray grouper, 50-pounder. So just answer that question. I know it's an old question, but I want to make sure I answered it for him. All right, Hazel, let's, what do you think? A couple more, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here we are. Oh, okay. Let me get rid of that pinned one. There we go.
Sorry, I've been trying to keep track of it.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. I got you. Okay. You have a ton of good questions.
I know, man.
Suck. You know this? In a good way.
I know the one I'm going to ask.
Okay. Let's see here.
Some good ones.
Damn. So many. All right. I'm just going to hit this one because it's random and short. Rye for short, actually. Would you rather have a 10-inch long belly button that swayed to music or accordions for legs?
Accordion for legs.
I have to ask what kind of substance he was on to ask this question.
Yeah. Streaming a little too long there, Rye?
I mean, this is the type of question that reminds me of a time when we would sit around on a couch, staring at things for no particular reason. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Yeah, this is the type of questions that get asked during those times.
Yeah. You know what? I stared at a microwave once, and I felt bad for Zero because it was all by itself.
What were you on? Kids don't do drugs.
You definitely don't. Wow. I honestly, both of those seem like such bad things. I guess accordions for legs. Because I don't know, a 10-inch belly button just sounds weird.
See, I'd rather just tuck the belly button under my shirt and just have regular legs where I'm not accordion all over the place. So I'm thinking practically here. I'll take the belly button.
Yeah.
I'll just tuck it under my shirt and a jacket.
I don't know. That entire question just entirely disarmed me.
There's no wrong answer. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, good job, Rye. Like, there's not many questions that just utterly stun me.
Yeah. I think this is a good one to end on. It's a good question. It's from some dude, I don't know, Kingsley Macklemore. What do you hope to see?
He's a DJ, I think. MC Kingsley?
Yeah, I think he is. Oh, yeah, MC Kingsley. That's it. What do you hope to see in weapon crafting and Witch Queen? Des? Since we're talking about weapons tonight.
And what I want to see end up, I'll repeat this. This is an old idea of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of came about during Arms Day back in D1. But here's my idea of how I would like weapon crafting, like, to end up. It's definitely a pipe dream, and it's definitely a non-answer to this question, but I'm still going to share this as my answer. So deal with it. But what I would like to see from weapon crafting is essentially, it's a little more targeted, but essentially, like the idea of Arms Day was, you would get a weapon frame. Let's say it's a auto rifle frame.
Mm-hmm.
You can add a trigger mechanism for your RPMs, and then your perks and mods and such can be materials that are dropped, and these are the things you grind for. So thus you can attach it to said frame. And that is essentially what I would like to see for weapon crafting. Is truly customizable, target farmable weaponry.
Man, I missed Arms Day. Arms Day was awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Destiny 1.
I mean, I feel like like I said, it can, with that system, it can still give you something to grind for.
Mm-hmm.
You're not grinding specifically for weapons, you're grinding for perks, which, I don't know, I just feel is it can be a slightly better mechanism than having to hope for what I've started to call a Yahtzee drop, which is a perfect 5 out of 5 roll for you. And yes, for anyone that remembers Yahtzee was a 5 of a kind.
It was very rare.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it's a, hang on a hot second. I did numbers. I did numbers on a perfect 5 out of 5 roll. Actually, I don't even think I did a perfect 5 out of 5 roll. Working on a project, I actually started going into drop possibilities. You want to hear some ridiculousness? Oh my god. Like, gotchas don't even have this bad of a drop rate. And I was entirely saddened to actually read this. But we're talking, like, perfect rolls potentially. I don't think I kept the numbers for perfect rolls. But we're talking, like, sub 1% for, like, a 5 out of 5 drop. I'm talking, like a 0.0, potentially 0.05% for 5 out of 5 drops, something like that. It is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't even keep those numbers, but just for perks. Oh, one roll. Here we go. One roll possibilities for a Chrysaria Mellow auto rifle, 0.07% for a roll you want. Like any roll, like whatever roll that is, the chances of getting is basically like a 0.07% for a 5 out of 5. Actually, I don't even think that's including masterwork. So that's 4 out of 5.
I can't look at those stats. I'll just get depressed. I just want to get lucky.
Yeah. Just to get 2 perks that you want, we're still talking like a 2.87% on that same auto rifle.
That's pretty piss poor. What's the drop rate for Vex right now?
It's awful.
It's like 2%?
I don't pretend to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know, actually. Well, this is probably a pipe dream, but 30 and Still Gaming turned me on to this theory of weapon crafting. And it was it's kind of how Battlefield is. You get a gun, and the more kills you get with a gun, it starts to unlock things, and you get to pick and choose what you want to unlock. I still hope that's the way it's going to be. Because if like for instance, I have a third Axiom. I don't have a great roll on it, but I just love the feel of the pulse rifle. And a True Vanguard's a big fan of this rifle, and I watch him use it, and I've used it in Crucible, and I just love the damn thing. But wouldn't it be great if I could just get 1,000 kills with it, and then all of a sudden a new perk tree opens up that I can choose from? And then I get 2,000 kills, and another perk tree opens up. You know what I'm saying? That should be the way weapons are done. Then guess what? You don't have to worry about storing a bunch of crap in your vault anymore, because you'll have all your custom made rolls that you want to keep. It's awesome. I'm hoping that's what they do, but I have a feeling it's like 2 steps, forward, 1 step back with Bungie these days.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. You're looking at a progression system that is inspired from other FPS titles.
It's
not
tried,
just Battlefield.
It's tried and true though.
Has,
yeah, same thing.
But here's the thing. Bungie isn't pulling from SPS models anymore. They're pulling more and more from MMO models.
Yes, you're right. By the way, I looked this up today. You know, Bungie is the 3rd largest MMO right now with over 32 million players.
It's still not an MMO.
Well, they loosely call it that, so.
I mean, everyone
technically it is.
It is a persistent world shooter.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does have MMO elements, but for a shooter, it's definitely the closest thing you're getting to an MMO.
Yeah, they've definitely leaned that way. That's for sure. Hazel,
for sure. Yeah.
What was your? I don't want to skip Hazel. What was your answer for weapon crafting theory?
So, my answer is basically like the pipe dream that people had way back when, where basically like you could unlock a perk from so you get you remember back when Luke Smith said, hey, how do we make your 7th Better Devils?
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's basically like, what if you could strip perks from guns and put those in?
Yeah, it's like my idea.
Like bank it.
Sort of.
I unlocked the perk, bank it. I'll use it on another gun.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
But I do like that idea too, because I could have a perfect Reed's Regret if I could do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have Reed's Regrets with Triple Tap. I have Reed's Regrets with Vorpal. I have Reed's Regrets with Firing Line. I don't have Reed's Regrets with all of those combos.
Yeah, exactly. So you could strip it and then put that on, because you've earned the gun.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think they're going to go that way, just because they said that they want to make it an investment.
Yeah.
See?
So maybe they're going to tie some currency to it that maybe you have to play and.
You know what? As long as it works out the same way, where I have my choice of, picking a perk for using the gun so many times, which they kind of alluded to in the last teaser.
Yeah, they did allude to highly customizable perks, which, like I said, to be honest, I think as long as we can get that, I think most of the player base could potentially be happy.
Yeah.
Except for the streamers, because they're not happy about anything, apparently.
True.
I'm not going to go down that road. Yeah. Well, hey, I figured that would be a great question to end on. So thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate
Indeed.
that. Thank you, Kingsley, for that question. Let's get to our last segment of our show. Mr. Elmer Fudd, take it away.
Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast. Yeah, Guardian Downcast. This is an intro. Guardian Downcast. Guardian. Not copyright. Guardian Downcast.
All right, listeners, this is the final segment of our show. This is where we like to pick our songs for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. Just a little sample of what all of us here like to listen to. And we invite you to listen to it as well. If you want to follow along and see what we add every week and you play it, might be a song you want to add to your own collection. So I thought it's kind of cool. It's something Dad's Tale started a long time ago. And we're just continuing that tradition, I guess, right? Just search for Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify. And we have the link also for iTunes. Like I said, I put all the links in our show description or show notes. And you can click on that and go right to it right away and follow along. We now have 849 songs representing all of us and all of our past guests from a long time ago. Let's start with you, Des. What'd you pick tonight, man?
I totally have picks, and I totally didn't panic like when Gatr said 1 hour warning. Totally didn't panic at all, especially realizing all of my picks have been spread across shows.
You got to remember what you picked. I get that.
Well, all my good picks are gone now.
No. Like I was telling you, I have like a
All right,
playlist
all
of
of my-
100 songs.
I mean, I have songs I can like just toss out, like for sure still.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of my major, like important to me picks are
Right.
gone.
I got you.
But one of my picks, I have been able to tie into everything, is a little song that a lot of people are familiar with called Nothing Else Matters. This particular cover is actually done by a collection of people. It was done for, I believe, a tribute, some kind of tribute to Metallica or something. But it is a cover lyrically done by Miley Cyrus. On piano is Elton John and a bunch of other people like Yo-Yo Ma that I have no idea what he does on the song.
He plays a cello.
Oh, he plays a cello. That could actually be that weird sound, which fits perfectly into like the entire like thing. But no, it's like a fantastic cover,
I can't wait
and
to hear
it's
this.
actually
It's very good.
Nice.
yeah, it's very
Surprisingly
good.
Nice pick, man.
Yeah, but it's significant in a way because like I said, Metallica's one of my favorite bands ever.
Sure.
But this like cover led to an important moment to Metallica as a band, actually, because they were on the Howard Stern show with Miley, and they performed this cover, or she was able to perform this cover live with Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
But Howard was able to get Elton John in a Zoom call to talk to Metallica, where as a band, I mean, I don't care like what you think of Elton John, like personally, but I mean, whether you agree or disagree with things he's done or whatever, but he is a fantastic performer, like from the ages.
Mm-hmm.
And he told Metallica the fact that he doesn't consider, like, Nothing Else Matters is like one of the best pieces of music ever written.
It's one of my favorite
And the
Metallica
fact
songs,
that-
that's for sure.
Yeah. And it's the fact that he doesn't consider them a rock band. He considers Metallica just a band that just doesn't really, that kind of defies definition. They just make music. And to see James Hetfield tear up as Elton John's complimenting them like this
Look, he totally
is
gets
like
it.
it's like one of the best moments. It's like just a really cool moment that such a big name in performance is giving you kudos for what you've done. So it's just a fantastic thing, and it's a great cover. So of course I had to add this. Of course. And of course, one of my favorite songs. And then there's my second pick,
Yeah.
which the other guys have no idea about.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what it was.
Nope, because the time has come.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows of a certain musical addiction I've had in the past few years. It is a craze that if you are in any way attached to the internet is not entirely unknown to you. It is K-pop. I'm sorry. But this particular song is BTS Idol, which it's hilarious because they just recently came out with a song that's kind of perfect to break you into BTS because it's entirely in English. But it's not the song I chose because Idol is a better statement piece. Because I've loved, like, through the years, watching this band evolve from just these K-pop boys into trying to spread a better message. I was following them when they started their whole love yourself message, and in order to love yourself, you have to love yourself to love others. And they were spreading this like huge message of this, and like they started becoming very like prominent and important. And Idol is kind of from this entire thing, and it's basically like their self-discovery song, right? It's them defining who they are by who they are, rather than what they're called or what they're labeled.
I would have never
So it's a
thought of
fantastic-
you as a BTS fan, man.
Like BTS is like my number 2 right behind Big Bang. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, but no, I've loved BTS though, because like I said, they have music that's catchy for me.
Mhm.
Like they have more catchy music for me, where a lot of other K-pop is just kind of poppy for me.
Right.
But I mean, you have RM, Suga, J-Hope, who have heavy like rap influences, so it does bleed through in their songs like a lot. So it's easier for me to listen to
Okay.
because of those influences.
All right.
But yeah, but like I said, this is kind of a poppier sound. It is fantastic. It is like it's just great. Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a listen. I'm not afraid to listen to BTS. I'm all right. I can do it.
I'm not afraid to listen to it. Like it's going to convert him or something.
I mean, that, and I kind of also figured to go ahead and break out because their record label has made big moves and now has a prominent U.S. Establishment to actually make moves to bring K-pop here a little more. So, you might be seeing even more BTS across the internet.
BTO? That'd be awesome.
For the English-speaking audiences. So that's going to be... The next few years are going to be interesting on that front.
All right. Okay.
I swear I thought you were going to say they grew from like K-pop boys to K-pop men.
I
You
mean,
said that.
legitimately, sort of. I mean, this is like the boys to men of K-pop groups.
Those good picks, man. I can't. I love that first song. The second one, I'll let you know. All right, Hazel, what'd you pick this week, man?
All right. I'm looking forward to listening to that. I haven't really ever dabbled in K-pop, so I'm really looking forward to it. So, one of the shows that I forgot to mention earlier is Arcane on Netflix. It's basically from League of Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Heard about that.
yeah, All Thumbs, Ron, he mentioned this in the Discord, and I didn't have anything else to do, and I was like, I'll check it out. And it's very, very well done. And in there, when Ron was talking about it, he said that the music is also phenomenal. And I heard this song, and I'm just like, I'm in love. I need this song. So I added Playground.
What'd you add?
And Playground.
Okay.
It's by B. Miller, yes. So yes, it's basically it's like that sort of maybe like alternative, slightly emo kind of music. But yes, it's an awesome song. Loved it. And then another song that I added is Pac-Man by Gorillaz featuring Schoolboy Q.
Anything
And
Gorillaz is great.
I have to listen to that.
yeah, this transported me back to the 90s. and
Oh,
the
wait,
rap
it's
music.
2020. Gorillaz has music I don't know about. Oh, no.
Yeah. Check
Ooh,
it.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Listen to this song. This will transport you. If you listen to any 90s rap, this will put you right back in there.
I added Stylo.
Hilarious.
I added Stylo from Gorillaz. It's
How
not,
old is that?
It's old. It's 90s. It's 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Moving on.
So yes, this is new Gorillaz music, and the Gorillaz are always awesome. And
Yeah.
with this is like, it's weird. It's like they channeled the 90s in this one song, and I just listen to it and it transports me back there. I just smile.
Nice.
All right, I'll keep it short and sweet tonight. My first pick, it's one of my favorite American singer-songwriters. He's got a new song out. He's 46-year-old now. He has 12 Grammys. He's earned the title Top 100 All-Time Greatest Guitarist by Rolling Stone. His new single's called Taking Me Back.
Did you say 46 Grammys?
No, he's a 46-year-old. And he has 12 Grammys to his name. And he's earned the title of 100 All-Time Greatest Guitarist by Rolling Stone. That is impressive. But I tell you what, his new single's called Taking Me Back. It had just a funky guitar craze song, and it's got a synthesizer, so it's even better. It's freaking awesome. No, wait till you hear it, man. I guarantee you listen to it, you'll be playing it 2 or 3 times this week. It's the Detroit native, Mr. Jack White. Great song.
Okay. Okay, you've earned a listen with just the name Jack.
Oh, thank you. For my second pick, this is an American alt-rock band from Boston, Massachusetts. They formed in 91. The bandmates, they actually met while attending Tufts University in Medford, and they were on a freshman wilderness orientation when they first met each other. Their first 2 albums were considered underground. They didn't really release them to the public. Fun fact, one of their songs was actually used in an ad for the Weather Channel, of all places. My song tonight's off their 2006 album, Ganging Up on the Sun. The song is Ruby Falls, and it's the great melody and unique alt-rock song, and something different for me, as everyone thinks I always choose prog rock. It is Guster. It's a great song, too. These are 2 songs I've wanted to add for a long time, and finally I get to add them. So, yeah.
I'm sure you're going to say something like from Boston, like Norway or something. I would have been like, what?
No prog rock this week. I'm trying to branch out into other music. There's so much good prog rock out there. I'm just sorry there is. It's world
like
music.
Early Metallica.
It's world music, man. I mean, it's everywhere. It's good stuff. And yes, Norway has some fantastic prog rock bands. I hate to say that, but they do.
Why do you hate to say that?
Well, I mean, I know you hate for me to say that.
Keep it up, and Easy Gaming's going to have all kinds of shit to say to you.
No. I'm good. I got a lot of friends I got some friends in Denmark too. Just a couple of announcements here before we end the show tonight. We do have scrims on Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you are interested in playing some Crucible with friends, and Gatr promises not to get too salty, sign up for that. It's we have our rules set and everything. Just look in our scrims chat in our Discord. It'll explain all the rule sets, what you can bring in, what you can't. Usually like duplicate stuff you can't want to bring in, and there's some restrictions, but it's to mainly just even out the field, and also to try new stuff. Try something you can't, you maybe don't want to go into Crucible and try something out. Try something new in scrims. It's a lot of fun, and it's a little competitive, but I think you'll have a good time. So check that out. And I did want to reiterate that we do have another clan cast for Friday, December 3rd. Anyone that is in the clan can join, but you need to DM myself or Hazel in the NT and let us know if you are going to be interested in being on that. And I'll post it in a Discord too, because I realize some people are busy right now and they probably might not be hearing this. But yeah, Clancast Friday, December 3rd. We've already got it booked. Just want you guys to join up and talk about Destiny. It should be a good night of fun. In my YouTube channel, I still am running the competitive playlist 30-day challenge. I figured since we have like a gazillion days left in the season, I figured I'd just take my time. I'm on day 19 right now. I think I'm at Mythic 2 or 3 or something like that. Anyway, just some 30-day challenge. I wanted to see how far I'd get in comp, and not many people play comp right now. The comp playlist, the Glory playlist. So I figured, what the hell, it'd be something to try and see what happens. Well, guys, that's a wrap. Another episode in our collection. For our listeners out there, we have 120 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community. So if you're just finding out about us, take a look at that. Go to guardiandowncast.com and it'll direct you to our webpage where we have all of our episodes listed right there. And just, there's a lot of great guests in there for, over 2 years now. So take a look at that. Mr. DeSRaven, thank you again, man, for coming on tonight.
Indeed.
I know it's been a while since your last solo appearance. We apologize. we try to work in everybody as we can, and a lot of new faces have come in.
Understandable.
I mean, we just get more and more new people, and we want to hear everyone's story. And don't worry, we want to talk to our community, and we want to make sure we include everybody. And we just appreciate you coming on tonight.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, most of my hassles on coming onto a show are usually just very in jest.
I understand.
But for this one, it is semi-serious because I just love sitting down and being able to talk to you guys. So
absolutely, man.
Yes. So
it is a fantastic time.
Yeah, you're definitely one of my favorite people to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh.
So easy. It really is. Yeah, I always have a good time, man. So... I think you got some kind of podcast or something. Anybody want to know about that?
I mean, I might eventually. I mean, you can check us out. We have a website that you can find pretty much all necessary links. Something about theguardianhub.com, the best hub on the net. So you can potentially find us there, and links to Discord and the podcast and blah this, blah that.
It's a really great podcast. I love listening to it every week.
You sound like me trying to plug our shit. Like,
right?
we have a thing.
Yeah,
it's out there.
I know, right?
Look it up.
Yeah, we have a thing. You can find me personally, of course, in varieties of Discords. As I said earlier, I'm lurking in lore channels. Lurking in general, more active in lore channels. And you can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven, which is the home of the Hephaestus Index, which is a comprehensive, as I can possibly think of, list of Destiny weapons, their stat comparisons, and sources to find them from. So yeah.
That's a lot of work, I bet.
It's a thorn in my side. I kind of love doing it too. And I'm also working on, as I've alluded to before, I'm working on something else, some deeper comparisons and things that I've tried before, and I'm back at it again. So I'm deep diving into stats and numbers and the Matrix. Help me, Neo. It's all my stuff.
Nice. Thanks, Des. Thanks again, buddy. Hazel, where can people find you, sir?
Hazel NT, anywhere and everywhere. And I'm sort of streaming, and I plan on streaming our scrims as well. So
I hope you do that more often, man. You really like streaming, just for your friends to hop in and say hi, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So where do you stream at? Where do people find you? Is it Hazel NT?
That's the Hazel NT.
The Hazel NT. Oh, there we go.
What platform might that be on?
Twitch.
Okay.
Twitch.
Semi-professional bullshit.
I'm gonna have to harass you.
Yes, definitely do that, please. Extra points.
Yeah.
For some amateur BS.
Hey, semi-pro now. Semi-pro.
We're semi.
Semi-pro.
We've moved
semi-pro
up.
BS. Gotcha,
We've moved up in the world. Yeah. You can contact me via Twitter at Todd the Gatr. Remember, that's Gatr. You can also find me on Steam and PS5 as Gatr, Gatr, all caps, and don't forget those underscores. I'm on YouTube also, same spelling, Gatr. Or you can just go to Gatr-Guardian Downcast, where we actually post our episodes every week. So if you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube, there you go. Another option. We have a Scumdeath Corner this week. All right. Uncle Scumdeath, what is going on this week in Scumdeath's Corner?
Hello, and welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. Oh, it's a great day today because my brother has gone to view his new puppy, and it's 6 weeks old, and obviously it's not allowed to be taken away from his parents until 8 weeks. So he's gone down there to have a look. He wasn't too sure whether he wanted a dog or not. He's been having an outing. I've got 3 of them, and every night after work he comes out and takes the dogs out with me. His daughter, she's 20 years old. She sort of is working from home at the minute. But then when she finishes work, she's straight out in the car, gone all night. She might stay at her boyfriend's in the evening. So my brother's just rattling around in that house on his own all night. You know, he just puts sports radio on, sits at the back on his back step, smoking and drinking. So I think if he gets a dog, it'll give him a bit of purpose in life. And on weekends, he can get up and take the dog out and go somewhere and do doggy things. But the puppy he's getting is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, a blue one. They're called blue because they're sort of grey, but it's such a cute little thing. And he's gone to view it now. He's just given me a video call of the dog with all its little puppy family and all his little brothers and sisters, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I think it'll be the best thing for him. Give him some get up and go. I mean, my dogs are 9, 6, and 5, so I've not had much puppy time recently. So he only lives 1 minute 42-second walk away from my house. So there'll be plenty of puppy time for me to go around and have a little play. I cannot wait. So what I'll do Monday, I'll throw a couple pictures out of the little boy, and in 2 weeks' time, we'll get some action shots of Uncle Scumdeath with little nephew pups. I can't wait to see the little thing. Ooh, I'm so excited. Anyway, love you all. Stay safe. Goodbye.
Continue to be safe, everybody, and more importantly, take care of one another.
Guardians are measured by their ability to come back from defeat. So stand. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Get toddled.
The best hub on the net.
Stay magical.
We'll say it for Des.
I'm sorry. I'm just getting so disarmed.
Dude, that was awesome. Thanks, man. Hey, chat, thanks for hanging
fantastic.
in there. That was a long show. We appreciate everybody hung in there.
Yeah,
Indeed.
this was good stuff.
Anybody in chat have any questions before we sign off tonight? No.
Yes, great questions, Mr. Monkey.
Yes,
As per usual.
Yes. Thanks for participating tonight, guys. We appreciate it. These live shows are really fun. The hardest part is staying focused on what I'm supposed to be doing while trying to read chat. This is why I can never be a professional streamer. There's just no way, man. I don't have the attention span to do it. It is so difficult to play a video game while trying to read chat and keep up with it. I don't know how they do it, but anyway.
I don't know. It's coming like second nature to me now.
Good. You should do more streaming, man.
Well, I don't mean streaming. I mean like looking at the chat during live shows.
Oh, okay, that part. It's kind of the same as streaming. It really is.
I don't know. I came from streaming and such wasn't too difficult for me when I was doing it because I was that MMO guy playing EverQuest. I had like between 20 and 30 windows of just things to keep track of.
Oh my God. 20 or 30?
Well, yeah, because I like micromanaged everything. So I separated all of like the actionable things into like separate windows so I can keep track of individual things a little better rather than having, because by default they kept most of it in like 1 or 2 windows. But like I said, to keep better track of individual things, I separated practically everything: guild chats, group chats, world chats,
Jeez.
loot drops, combat log, spell book, crafting, so I had that multiple windows to keep track of, and I was able to do it. So yeah, like keeping an eye on either while doing YouTube and keeping an eye on like recording status or stream chat.
I mean,
a thing I do.
I admit when I'm podcasting, I've got, my OBS in one little window. I've got, the live chat and Discord down in the bottom window. And then I got 4 or 5 windows for all the scripts and questions and stuff like that. So I've gotten used to looking at it too, but it's still, is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a learnable
yes
thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Just takes practice.
Practice?
I was just
I'm
somehow
talking
able
about
to
practice, man.
I don't need no
Do it.
practice.
You guys got to try Battlefield. It is so fun, man. It's a totally different game than the beta. I cannot wait to play some more tomorrow. It's just going to be, it's just chaos. It's a little crazier than what you're used to playing. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, a lot of stuff shooting at you versus, 6v6, which is already chaotic, but dude, it is so much fun. It is so much fun.
get ready for a trip.
Pack my bags. Am I moving to Korea?
I'm always recording.